what's really funny? I see you looking at your phone there. Hey, everybody.
What's up, y'all? This is Kickstand, that is Biker Mike from Mars. We are joined again by our good friend and brother, Bam.
Yes, welcome again. I do have to say the last episode that we had you on was fucking awesome. It was so good.
I really enjoyed it. Thanks for having me back. I'm excited. Spouting off is one of my favorite things.
Talking shit, doing stories. Yeah, it really was one of the funnest ones that we got to do. The thing I was talking about that was funny is I already saw you looking at your phone because you have a topic you want to get on, and I'm like, oh, is he gonna read it right now? I just thought it'd be funny if you were like,
sure, let's just pull the band-aid off this thing.
All right, we're kicking off.
All right, so news article. Our good friend Dustin kicked to me today. Mm-hmm. He's like, this happened like yesterday or the day before. He's like, this is ridiculous. It's like this year's getting off to a great start. It's gonna be very Western, very ratchet, very trailer park. So in Abbotsford today, or I guess on the 6th, a pigeon was busted flying into a BC prison, or into Abbotsford prison, wearing a meth backpack.
Oh, I've heard of things similar to this in the past.
Yes.
Yes. I just a homing pigeon, essentially.
Yeah, a homing pigeon for drugs.
Yeah, a whole squad or a whole group of prison guards spent a whole afternoon trying to catch a meth pigeon. In the yard, chasing it, fly away, flutter away.
That is not what I thought you were going to be leading off with.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, Devin's been reading an article. He's getting educated. He's got a topic. He's like, here's what's wrong with the world today. This is what grinds my gears.
No, I'm just thinking like,
pigeon.
That's fucking genius.
So there's stories,
and so many things can go wrong. Well, trusting animals to send drugs.
Yeah, why a pigeon of all? I guess homing pigeons.
Pigeons.
That's what they're for.
Yeah, right. And pigeons are everywhere, so I guess they're like indiscriminate at that.
You just Google that shit. How do you make a homing pigeon? All right, cool. This is it. And
you got time? You dedicated time to that, because it's not like there's a store where you're going to buy homing pigeons.
Obviously enough time. Not enough time, because it didn't go to the window it was supposed to go. It's just around the prison.
Well, what meth user do you know that really sees things through to the end? They're pretty good for the middle. But
I've seen Breaking Bad. I know how this goes.
Yeah.
And like I was thinking, like, what happens if like an owl picks off that motherfucker? And then you've got a strung out junkie owl willing to do anything for another hit.
Well, that would be like a killing machine. There wouldn't be a rodent.
That's the sequel to Cocaine Bear.
This is the sequel to Cocaine Bear. It'd be
meth owl.
Yeah.
So I grew up in Victoria, and there's this story. Yeah. There's a, and it's minimum security, but there's a jail right along the road in Victoria, Wilkinson Road Jail, and there's a story about how in the old days, it's like the inmates would be playing frisbee, and they would throw a frisbee into this one backyard in particular, and then like an eighth of weed or meth or whatever would get taped to the bottom of the frisbee.
Okay.
And then thrown back into the yard. And, stuff was coming in and out via frisbee. So it was like, when I was a kid, I remember asking my mom if it was like some sort of like club for men or something. I thought was like
the prison.
Yeah, because it's very nice. It's a very warm looking building. It's got green grass.
Really nice. They wave.
Yeah. What's minimum security? It's probably guys that did fraud and things.
So more or less, it is kind of in comparison to many prisons. It is like a country club.
Yeah. No, there's picnic tables and everybody looks like they're just kind of hanging out, having a chill time. There's no
get frisbees.
Yeah, and I associated like prison with like white and black stripes and guys with chains and balls tied to their ankles.
You saw every 1950s like chain. What do they call them?
The chain
gangs and stuff like that. I was like, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
No stripes. Where did stripes come from? There must have been some prisons because right now everything's orange.
Orange, blue.
Like it's
orange. Orange, so you can see. I'm guessing, so you stand out.
Yeah, imagine.
It's contrast.
You
can't escape. Ha ha ha. You're orange.
unless you go to the wrong neighborhood in which they're like, no, this is my colors. This is what we're at, where we're at.
Do you know any hard ass gangsters that wear prison orange? Just a big old jumpsuit, one color.
Will Smith did in the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air a couple times.
Oh my gosh, I forgot
he wore
about
like
that.
a full prison outfit as like, oh, this is my, I don't know, March of Rebellion. They're like, this is what we do.
On the
Philly.
outside, they just call it Harley Orange.
Oh yes, the classic Harley Orange. You pay an extra $100 for that one.
It's Harley Orange. No, that's
200.
prison, bro.
Oh, that's funny. I never made that connection.
Oh wow, there's so many jokes that could be made with that, but I have
But you
friends
haven't,
that I'm
you
like,
haven't made
nope,
one. Go. Do
nope, no, I'm good.
This is the forum to do it, if you're gonna.
Oh, okay. So they make it Harley Orange so that they all feel at home. They're like anyone who owns a Harley, they're like, oh, you're used to this color. This doesn't offend you.
In or out, you're good.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, always styling.
Yeah. Right? It's just for accessorizing.
Yeah, the reason I didn't want to make that joke is that I am not accusing anyone who rides a Harley of criminal activity. It's just a joke.
You know who you are.
There are a few. I know one guy who quit one club and then all of a sudden he was accused and arrested for murder. And I'm like, oh,
It's like that degenerated fast.
wow. Did not see that coming. He was a really good guy, really nice. And I'm like, he quit an organization that I know. And he went there. I'm like, I know a murderer. I knew that I knew a few. Like, you just get, if you're around that life, you know that you already know a few, but nobody's getting arrested.
There's a stat that like 1 in 8 people have killed people, right?
Yeah.
Like, just in the world?
Yeah. So if you're in Vancouver, likely you've walked past somebody that's killed somebody at some point.
No. Yeah, of course.
We'll have averages, right?
Yeah. So it's one of those things. I heard somebody else say it's like everyone's capable of murder. You just haven't met the right person. If you haven't done it, it's because you haven't met the right person.
Well, that's the issue. You say it best. It's not so much. Can I kill somebody? Yes. Am I certain that I can pull the trigger and you got to go, yep, I can smite you? However, the issue comes with me sleeping thereafter.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the thing, right? Like,
can I take a nap after?
Yeah. I don't think that I can I can't take a deer's life, so certainly I can't smite a human.
I don't know. The right human. Again, the right human, I'm pretty sure I could smite.
Well, it depends what happens.
You fucking touch my kids.
Yeah.
In an inappropriate way.
If you contemplate touching my son.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah. I'll take a nap.
But that's a different story.
All right.
Because it's something you're a kid. You're doing something. It's a thing. But can I just walk up and smite somebody? I don't know.
But like saying I could take a nap after, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think you can know until you're in that moment.
That's true. And that's the thing. I'd like to think I could, but depending on the scenario, probably not. Now, that being said, can I tell a story about your dog when you called me?
Yeah, sure.
All right, so Devin calls me up, and he's like, Mike, can I borrow a gun, and do you know where I can put a body? And I'm like, this is the way you premised it. I don't know if you fucking did it on purpose, but you did do it. And I'm like, who are we taking care of? It wasn't let's talk about it, or, what's going on? No, it was, who are we taking care of? And then he's like, my dog. I'm like, oh shit, you should have led with that.
It was too much fun.
Son of a bitch.
I was having a fucking bad day. That was a bright point.
Anyways, his dog was suffering, and so we put it down. And that's why I know that it sucks. It's because I did that, and it did. It sucked. It took a little something out of you, or out of me, anyways. I'm like, because the dog didn't deserve it, but at the same time, it was suffering. Do you just let it suffer because I don't have the testicles to do what it takes? No. At one point, you got to nut up and be like, do the hard thing. Do the thing that you don't want to do, but you know it's right. And a lot of people don't know that because they don't face it. They don't put themselves in scenarios where they have to do that. Sometimes you got to learn or put yourself in places to do a hard thing.
There's never growth without discomfort.
Mm-hmm. I was at jiu-jitsu today, and I got whooped real bad. I got choked. I got armbar. I got slammed. I had a hard day, and And I heard somebody say a week earlier or something like that. It's like jiu-jitsu is a sport for people who don't mind sucking at something. And trust me, today was my day to suck. I'm like, all right, this is my suck day, and it was a hard thing. It hurts so bad. I don't like losing. I did good for the first little bit, but then I got whooped. Like,
so was that a thing of you faced the right guy at first, and then you hit, started rolling with the heavy hitters, or was it a thing where like just people had your number after that?
No. One guy. This guy's phenomenal. I know he's very good. I knew I was going to get beat. I didn't realize how badly I was going to get beat.
Yeah.
And he's in my weight class. It's not like I went against a big guy. I went against a guy that's my size, and he schooled me. I felt retarded. I'm like, oh, I'm an idiot.
Some guys are natural fighters. They're just quick and...
Yeah. And this guy's been at it, and he is good. He's very, very good. I'm taking nothing away from him. He is phenomenal. And I'm like, yeah, no, he got me every single time. He beat my ass. And I'm like, cool. And I got up every time, though. Like, even when I, like, lost, like, there's 5-minute rounds. But you don't stop. Once you get beat, you keep going. You're like, okay, get up. Let's go. And
it's like lightning round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I realized, I'm like, oh, I laid there for half a second. I'm like, get up, you pussy. Grab the ropes, pull myself up. I'm like, let's go. And then I got beat again. And I'm like, pull myself up and let's go. But it wasn't like a slow get up. It was no, we're doing this. I'm going to finish this. I'm going to finish what I started. And it hurt every single time. But yeah, it's something about doing hard things. And yeah.
What else happened at jiu-jitsu today?
Thank you. I got my very first white stripe on my white belt. I'm starting the process, and I'm like, oh, I'm really excited. I've never actually been belted. I've been doing it for years, and I've never gone through the process.
Yeah, you've always just kind of like done it in like kind of like an underground sort of way.
I'm what they call an MMA white, so it's like a white belt, but you know things.
Well, that's good though. That's positive, right? Because I think these things are important. Measurement tools are important. How do you know whether you're gaining or losing?
Yeah.
Now I have a question. Were they going a little extra hard on you today? Because
maybe. I think there is a chance. I don't know, but I have an inkling of, that was a test to see how I'd react. And what did I do? I laughed. I high-fived the guy. Yeah, he whooped me. I said, fuck. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, I really got whooped. Like, I felt like an idiot. But at the same time, I'm like, it's all right. This is okay. And I laughed it off because I'm like, what am I going to do? This isn't life or death.
Yeah.
Life or death, I know how to choke the average man. The average dude, I'm good. But this guy wasn't average. There's nothing average about this guy. So yeah, I'm not gonna take it personal. It's not like, oh, he was out to get me. I'm like, no, maybe he was. But fuck, it's a sport. How am I gonna get better if he just like tiptoes around and doesn't give me a hard time? No, I get better because somebody else is better than me and they show me that I am.
People are afraid to lose.
Yeah.
And people are afraid to fail. And the only way you learn something is by failing.
Yeah.
It either works or it doesn't, and all you've done is gained information to figure out how to do it better the next time.
Yeah. So that was my highlight of the day was that, and then.
Yeah. Well, I know it's only really the first step or whatever, but congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
That's actually pretty fucking cool. I know it's something that you've wanted to pursue in a real way for a long time, and I'm happy to see that it's happening.
Yeah. Well, it's nice to be recognized for that. Like, just kind of, hey. And for those of you being like, oh, he's a white belt, fucking come on out.
Yeah.
If you've never done it, come on out. It'll be adorable.
Yeah. Show me up with your white belt.
Mm-hmm. By all standards, we're at the same point. Let's go.
Yeah. Show me all the things I don't know.
Yeah. So, but at the same time, I'm like, no, I'm really happy and excited because, I don't know, I always feel like I'm not giving enough, or it's just like, when do I get to start doing this? When is something going to happen? And I wasn't prepared for it. I wasn't ready. I gotta start doing more gi stuff because I'm so used to doing no gi, and I'm trying not to use. The thing is, when I don't wear gi, I'm all no gi, and
so you just wrestle naked.
Nearly as close as I can get. And
I knew you'd like that. I
knew you would like that.
So I'm like trying not to grab their pant legs and their jackets because I'm like, I don't have a gi on, so I'm not going to use that against you. It's lazy. And he's like, no, go ahead. I'm like, no, it's not my thing. I'm like, I'm going to keep this as fair. I'm going to use my arms. I'm going to use my open hands. But there
Get
was
your
a couple.
ass kicked with principles.
Yep.
That's right. So, and even one of the guys is like, man, geese make me lazy because I could just go ahead and grab onto somebody and just hang on to that piece or choke them with their own clothing. So I'm like, I've never thought about it that way. So
I see the value in it though, like if you're just using jiu-jitsu as a sport, then yeah, I think doing like no-gi is probably the most sport-like of it. But the idea of doing it as a self-defense,
yeah,
like the gi thing makes sense to me because I mean, yeah, if you're getting into a street fight, if you're defending for your life, you grab everything you can and use it.
But okay, you were a bouncer.
Yes.
How many times do you see a guy when he's about to fight rip his shirt off?
Oh, lots.
A lot. So yeah, there are times that's the benefit of the no-gi training is the fact that there are guys who will rip their shirt off, and now all your gi training, that if you only do one, you've just lost a full weapon. You're like, oh shit.
That was my favorite point. As soon as they started pulling their shirt off, I'd start dummying them. Their hands were all tied up; they couldn't see, and I'd just start smashing them in the face. Ha ha ha! Dummy, take your shirt off now.
The self-defense school of hockey.
That's right.
That is fucking awesome.
I always love hockey players because what they do is they'll they'll grab you by the collar because that's their thing. They grab by the collar. It's like, great. Now you only have one hand that I have to worry about, and I have two. This is fine. You're a hockey player. I'm okay.
How come you're not grabbing my collar too? You're not playing by the rules.
Right.
We grab each other's collars.
And all you've done is telegraph at that point because it's like you've grabbed, you're looking, and you've shown them exactly where you're going to hit them too. They know where it's coming.
Yeah. So that's so. Yes, there are some benefits, but there are a lot of downfalls, especially to somebody who's like, oh, I know what I'm doing in this area. And the thing is, these guys, they will bait part of their gi, like they will grab their own gi and try to hand it to the guy, to make him grab it. I don't know why, but I guess some people fall for it, and they're like, all right, now I'm going to trap something. But these guys were very good, so they wouldn't fall for it, neither of them. So it's so fun to watch, especially one championship. Those guys, they got no-gi competitions now.
Yeah.
So good. Like just straight jiu-jitsu matches in the ring.
Well, if you're learning, that would be the way to learn because it's like it is the...
Yeah.
You're not.
It's the purest form.
Yeah.
So I am looking forward to getting better and learning. And yeah.
Okay, so speaking of bar fights, not...
Yeah.
Okay, so the other a couple weeks back, you and I were watching a movie, Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man, right?
Yes.
Fucking awesome movie.
Yeah, one top 10 movies of all time.
I
love motorcycles. That opening scene when he rides in on the hardtail, it's like, that thing is sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hardtail FXR.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How?
If I had an unlimited sum of money, I would build one, but...
Yeah. So, anyway, at one point, Harley there goes into a bar and finds his buddy, the Marlboro Man, and he's in the middle of a bar fight with an Indian. And you said the funniest thing. So he's sitting there smashing, this Indian he's fighting with over the head with a bottle, and it's like not phasing him. He's throwing everything but the kitchen sink, getting his ass kicked. And you say,
well, you just can't. You can hit them as many times as you want; they'll go down, but they just get right back up.
You were like, this is like I've gotten lots of bar fights with Indians. It's like, and this is exactly how it goes.
Yeah, there's no beating them. You can beat them to the ground, and they just pop right back up. It's like, and they're not necessarily that tough, but they can just take a beating.
So funny.
Yes, it was.
I can. Yeah, I agree. I've been in a couple. I've been in a couple street fights with some native guys back in the day because, I was a dummy. And, yeah, they are fucking tough as nails, those guys.
Yeah, you can just punch and punch and punch and punch and punch. And it doesn't seem to faze them ever. Yeah. You get tired and your hand gets sore before they're done.
At that point, they're facing your fist.
Yeah. It's like, great, now I'm going to have to play defense.
I bled first. I win. Yeah, I can't remember the last time I've been in a fist fight.
Yeah, no, me neither. It's been a very long time.
That's strange for you, because I imagine you came from a little bit of that world of I'm getting in a fight tonight.
Hockey, bouncing.
Yeah, no, I fought a lot. I fought
DJing in nightclubs, stuff like that. Yeah,
I fought tons. There was nights I would fight 10 times a night.
I think one of my friends threw up on you.
Oh yeah. Happened lots.
It was a way back in the day.
It's like you got to be more specific.
I had just met you, and I think it was at Looney Tunes, and one of my buddies threw up, and I was like, I'm so sorry. He's like, you still got to go. Because I was with my buddy, and I'm like, yeah, we're gone.
Yeah. No, that's
It happened more than once?
Yeah, no, I've been barfed on. If there's a human liquid that comes out of the body,
it's on you, and not from your infant even.
Yeah, not from your. No, it's like I've been peed on.
Have you been peed on in the bar?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it was a strange thing. The guy was acting weird when he came in, and he was in the bathroom for like a really long time. So I went in and checked him out, and right when I went in at a good time because he collapsed right when I was going in, and I grabbed him, and when he collapsed, he pissed himself, and I got pissed on him. It was super.
Was that at Looney Tunes back in the day?
That was at Looney Tunes, yeah.
What a gong show.
And he'd legitimately just walked in and he'd been out playing ball all afternoon or something and got heat stroke and passed out in the bathroom is all that really happened. But
really?
Yeah, but in the midst of that, pissed himself. It was super.
Yeah, I guess when you pass out, I mean, there's certain bodily functions that just don't hold.
Well, yeah, he was on his way to the bathroom, so it's...
Well, that's one of the reasons that they tell you not to get knocked out in the ring is because there's a good chance you shit yourself in the ring because your bodily functions are like, no, we're good. We're done. And so if you get knocked out, there's a chance, even choked out, there's a chance you shit yourself.
Oh, who was it? There was a UFC fighter, and this is a while ago now, but he shit himself from getting punched in the gut. Like he took a body shot and it triggered bowel release. Mm-hmm. So he finished the fight with the shorts full of shit.
Could you imagine being put in a triangle from there?
Nope.
Yeah.
Like, what's happening?
Just capping immediately.
What's happening?
Oh, I don't even think I have it. You don't.
And I'm imagining these shorts, and I imagine, like, it's liquidy. I don't think they're that liquid tight. I imagine
well, depending on which ones you get. If you get, like, the tight short shorts, there's a chance it stays, but... Most of those guys don't wear those ones. They're wearing.
I don't know. That just seems just like a bad day at the office to me, though.
Yeah. but he got paid. He got paid. They make so good money. Well, the newer venues do really good, but yeah, they make decent money, especially from the sponsors. That would have been back in the day when they were allowed to have sponsors. So, because that's when I stopped watching. It's shortly after they. Well, I just don't have the time to watch as much. But when they stopped getting sponsors, I don't know. I lost, like, all they have is Reebok now.
Oh, really?
UFC is uniform shorts. Everyone's wearing the same brand. They don't get to put their name, like, they can put their name on the side. I thought that was
the whole thing of fighting, like, your Fight Club was on there and the guys...
Oh, yeah, back in the day it was like that, but now, no, none of that.
Yeah, they got rid of all that. You can't do you can't do any personal sponsors now on your stuff.
How do you thank those people?
They just don't get sponsored. It's like you were being paid to fight.
That would be like only using GM cars to drag race.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because it's like a drag race car's got Moog and whatever Go Fast Goody car stickers on the side of it.
The LS swap a Toyota and be like, look, we're fast too.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of goofy stickers all over things.
Yeah, but no, UFC has completely gotten rid of that. Now it's all one brand.
You're not allowed to make money. Yeah, now you're not allowed to make money on the side using the Octagon as your platform.
Yeah,
everybody should have a side hustle no matter what you're doing.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're working on it right now. This is our side hustle.
I've got lots.
You got your.
Speaking of, you got the forge fired up, eh?
Yeah.
Well, I did, and then I thought that maybe I hadn't done it right, or I don't know exactly what I thought, but I was pretty sure it wasn't working correctly, because it was working good, and then it wasn't working good at all. Mm-hmm. And then then all of a sudden the outside turned red, and it's like, what the fuck happened? I had it going so hot, I melted all the insulation out of the forge.
Oh wow!
Oh yeah, a little over like 3,200 degrees to melt the insulation.
And you found a way.
Yeah, I found a way.
Oh,
it turns out like 15 psi of propane, and I have two. It's dual burner with forced air.
Yeah.
So I was running a leaf blower wide open and 15 psi of propane. She got hot fast. So it was up and running for a while, and then I've got a few more days off. It's down for repairs, but I'm hoping to have it. I'm hoping to have it repaired and functional in another couple days.
That'd be awesome.
Yes.
That would be frustrating too at the same time.
It was very frustrating because I had bought a cheap forge from Amazon, and I'd used it and used it and used it. It needed to be realigned, so I built the new forge that I have.
Yeah.
Took me a little while to get it dialed in and exactly how I wanted it, and then was just really starting to like it, and then I melted all the guts out of it.
What kind of insulation do you put in those things anyways?
It's K-wool insulation. It's this white. I had 2 inches of insulation, and then rigidizer to keep it all from deteriorating, and then I had a ceramic coating on the outside of it to repel the heat inward so it doesn't melt, and I melted it all.
all those precautions to be like, well, I fucking did it anyways.
Yeah, because I am retarded.
Yeah.
Well, I'm impatient. The one thing that I've learned as I go on is I'm part of that instant gratification generation, right? It's like we were the first ones of microwaves, and so I do not want to wait for things.
Yeah.
And I want to put whatever I'm working on into the forge, and I want to pull it out and work on it again.
Yeah.
I'm not.
There's no waiting for it to heat up.
Yeah. The term irons in the fire comes from blacksmithing.
That's
you
right.
need to wait and have many irons in the fire so you can work efficiently.
Yeah. Strike them while the iron's hot. Well, you're going to... Yeah. There's a few blacksmithing phrases that are out there.
Yes.
But is the term blacksmithing racist? I'm just curious about that. I was just thinking, okay, you know how...
I actually don't even know what to say to that.
I don't either. I'm like, is that a racist? Okay, there's something I say all the time.
Well, I imagine they call it blacksmithing because there's so much soot involved.
And you're black all the time. Because it was coal. Blacksmithing started all with coal.
Okay.
Yeah.
You see, I used to say, oh man, I haven't seen you in a coon's age. And then I'm like, I wonder if that's racist.
How long do raccoons live?
Apparently, it is actually from raccoons. It's not actually as they were referred to as black people. So, not me, they, the world, referred to black people at one point. I'm like, I don't mean it like that. So I did some research. Yeah, apparently they believe that raccoons lived a long time. So when you just say I haven't seen you in coon's age, it means a long time.
Huh.
Not racist.
I always assumed it was a racist thing, really.
Nope. I thought so too, but I'm like,
well, it's like saying, like, I haven't seen you in a dog's age, right? Like, it's a reasonable amount of time to expect having not seen somebody, but a long enough time.
10 and 15 years. Like, that's a long enough time.
Yeah, it's just like small animals live about that long. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah, so when you say somebody, you haven't seen somebody in coon's age. Not racist.
Not racist.
I had to look it up. I did have a guy come to me like, that's racist. I'm like, wow, maybe. So I looked it up.
I've never thought of it like that. I've always thought of it like another word for dog's age. It's raccoon.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know. What did you say to this person? I couldn't imagine. Did he schedule a meeting? How did this come up? It's like,
oh no, it was just
he just called
some construction site. It was just like, so it wasn't like anything important. There was nobody. I was like, man, I haven't seen you at coon's age. He's like, I think that's racist. I'm like, I don't think it is. Let's look this up. So we both
you had to settle it on the spot.
At least you had an open dialogue.
Yeah, no, it wasn't. I wasn't being called a racist. It was like, oh, I think that is, and we just we did some learning.
Oh, I'm interested to know who that is.
I don't remember. It was probably. I'm guessing it was a yard worker at one of the places in town.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense.
That's my guess of who it was, because they get comfortable with you pretty quick. You go in and out of there, 4 times or 3 times a day or whatever, depending on if you're a gopher or not. And I'd been there enough, and I said that, and we did some learning together.
I was at one of the local yards here maybe a couple months ago. I go all the time, but this happened a couple months ago. I was picking up some stuff that normally, like last year, would have been something that you were going to grab.
Yeah.
The guy was like, hey, where's the other dude at? I haven't seen him in forever. He's like, you know the guy. He's like, he's like, taller than you, always got something to say. It's like,
It's because
You mean Mike?
It's because they always talk about things that I know a thing or two about. I remember one time they were talking about Jake Paul, and I'm like, fuck, I hate that guy. And then another time they were talking about MMA. I'm like, well, guess what? I fucking know something about that too. When you talk about my field of thing, yeah, I'm gonna. And they did it all the time, and I'm like, this is my thing. So I could give my opinion, and I'm like,
That's because you're a basic male.
I'm a basic dick. And no, what's it?
What is it? Basic bro.
Basic bro.
It's a basic bro.
A basic bro. Yeah. Some see.
I've never. I haven't heard this basic bro before.
Yeah, it's just somebody who.
It's somebody who like is just always being the stereotypical dude.
Yeah.
You have an opinion about One Direction, even though you don't listen, and it's for 14-year-old girls.
Or it's like a basic bitch. It's like, oh my god, let's go get a latte.
Get a
like that
latte.
kind of thing, right?
What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Excessive love of spiced of
Pumpkin spice.
This is a challenging thing that comes up at my house a lot.
Oh, how so?
Oh, my wife loves pumpkin spice.
Really?
Yeah. And then I call her basic, and she does not care for
See,
that.
exactly. Like,
You a basic?
But of course, I have things to say, so it's like, I like to ask my wife.
Somebody said to me over the holidays, and let me know if you guys had this said too. Hey, we should add eggnog to our coffee. And I know from experience that never tastes as good as you think it should. There's a certain expectation
Why the
you
fuck
have
would you put eggnog in coffee?
because I love eggnog. And
I love
coffee.
eggnog too. It's like I
I love coffee.
oh, you put whiskey in eggnog.
Yeah.
Yes, we do that too.
I can't imagine it. At what point does hot nog? What if it? What the fuck if it turns into fucking?
that's the
What if
thing.
it turns into scrambled eggs? Fuck.
You so need to call it hot nog. Like that is because it's not cream. It's got raw egg in it. Like
I
it's
know.
not a thing you
I
put in
know.
coffee.
Yeah. What? And you're like, no,
Anyways.
this is gonna taste good. No,
Yes,
it's gonna taste like
I
balls
love,
in a can. Fuck.
It's one of those things that you look at and you're like, oh, I love these. I love both these things. Oh, I put cream in my coffee. Eggnog is cream-esque. Why don't I put eggnog in my coffee? And I told them because I had tried it already, and I'm like, it's not that good. I'm like, this is never as good as you think it should be, and it never is. So
Nobody should ever think it's good. No part.
No,
there was no
argument for it.
No, there isn't. It's warm.
I love the fact that this is the thing that has offended you the most tonight.
Well, you can't heat up nog.
No.
Jesus. It has egg in it.
Yeah. You
Like
can't heat up an egg. God forbid you heat up an egg.
I don't like eggs. Overall, I
Oh, you just don't like eggs.
No, I don't like eggs.
And you like eggnog?
Oh, I do love eggnog.
That's fucking weird.
It is, right? For a long time, I wouldn't eat eggs. I go out and have breakfast, and they're like, what kind of eggs? And I was like, I don't fucking care.
Doesn't matter. They're
Doesn't
going in the
matter. I'm not gonna
garbage.
eat them.
Yeah.
Eggs are chicken menstrual cycle, and it freaks me the fuck out.
Okay. Have you heard of...
Sorry.
Have you heard of this egg thing that they do in the Philippines where they will eat a partially developed egg?
Oh, you know, I've seen videos of that. It's weird as shit.
And so this one guy I know, he's like, yeah, I had that before. So it's a partially developed egg chicken thing. And I'm like...
There's like feather,
fetus
there's
of
feather and beak. And
Yeah. And so I asked him, I'm like, well, did you pair it with a good red wine and make eye contact with the mother when you did it? Because if you didn't, there's... I don't
can't
know,
do these things halfway.
You can,
there's another one I heard. One of those Asian countries like Vietnam or something like that, where they took eggs and they hard boiled them in little boys' urine. Yep, that's a delicacy.
Well, even the Newfies have this caper thing or whatever, where you eat the whole fish, the guts and the bones and the whole thing. It's a salted, dried motherfucker. I went to a Newfie wedding. It was...
it
was good with beer, but
yeah, it would have to be lots of it.
Lots of beer.
Oh, okay. You guys listen to Joe Rogan this week?
No.
Okay.
I'm on an off Joe Rogan kick right now.
Cool. I will tell you something about somebody that
Bring
he
it
had
on
on.
because it's new to me. Then
Okay, he had a bone find. This guy has a 5 acre. Well, he has many acres in Alaska, many acres. But there's one 5 acre allotment of land covered in mammoth tusks. Like he drenches out the ground. He's been doing it for years, and he pulls them out by hand. Like these big tusks, tons of them. And you know how the mammoths, when they froze solid very quickly.
okay.
So the meat is
Still good.
still technically good.
Yes, they have found, and they are looking for viable DNA
Yes.
to clone
To bring mammoths back.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This guy's eating it.
What?
He's like, yeah, we threw it on the barbecue. It's like, what'd you have with it? Like, how did you prepare it? He's like, whiskey. We drank a lot of whiskey beforehand. And he's like, wait, you have eaten mammoth? He's like, yeah, you throw it on the barbecue. He's like, it's you just gotta do it. It's still good. It's frozen. It's been under permafrost for thousands of years, but it's never thawed. So yeah, he ate it. He's like, he don't want to eat a lot of it because it's like shoe leather. It just doesn't taste good.
Well, yeah, I imagine it is so far beyond freezer burned.
Well, I know, right? I'm like deeply offended on the inside. What does bald eagle taste like? Fuck.
I'm curious. I am very curious. I'm quite sure it's gamey, but I'd assume. I don't know.
But I mean,
Like a gamey chicken.
So, I mean, mammoth would have been one of the things that early humans
They
actually
hunted.
hunted.
Yeah, it would have been a thing.
It would have been part of the diet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this guy, he's like, yeah.
But I
totally
imagine
eaten it.
fresh is much better.
I'm gonna
Can you
assume.
imagine the freezer burn on how many millions-year-old permafrost meat?
Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, like talk about dry aged.
Ooh, I tried.
There's got to be no moisture left in that flesh.
They literally, yeah. He says it's like.
I mean, because otherwise the moisture it would rot.
Yeah. If it had moisture, it would rot. So yeah, it was really interesting listening to this guy tell stories. And there was this thing of this Joe Rogan. He brought Joe Rogan a few things that they've carved out of mammoth tusk. He's like, we have so many of them, literally, like boxes upon boxes, like a warehouse almost full of them. He's like, what else are we gonna do with it? Yes, it's cool, but
it's just kind of useless and taking up
it's
space.
kind of useless.
Yeah.
So he's been carving it, and he's like, I don't know how I feel about this. Like Joe Rogan's like, you can't do elephants because you just can't.
Well,
it's illegal. It's illegal to do it on
Yeah,
elephants.
because you can't harvest ivory off of an endangered
And
species.
I think a big part of it is the fact that that species is still alive, and that people are taking advantage of how valuable their ivory is, and they're like, oh, I don't care about the elephant. I'm just going to cut it off the elephant or kill the elephant and take the tusks. Where these animals are already dead. There's no saving them. There's no bringing them back. It's not like, oh, this would have brought them back. No, there's none of that. So
No, it's vastly different, right? Because evidently the elephants are affected by not having their tusks.
yeah. And so, yeah, I'm like, okay, I see where you don't know how you should feel. But at the same time, like at some point, you got to be like, okay, what is the justification for this feeling? Let me analyze it. Why does this bother me?
Because it's very elephant.
What are you bothered by? What's the issue?
And that's the thing. Me, I'm like, no, I'm trying to think of all the things you could carve out of it. I would love a statue of a mammoth made from mammoth.
I'm curious. Is elephant kosher?
I don't know.
We need a Jewish friend. But like a really Jewish
We'd
friend.
be way more successful if we had a Jewish friend.
Right?
Just like, hey, you want to come help us with our show?
I want to ask them.
Turns out Jews don't charge other Jews interest. Like if you're,
It's against their. It's against the law
they
there.
lend.
That's why they charge us so much.
Exactly.
Make up for it.
Yeah, within their
And Jewish.
Jew-esque.
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 I've been circumcised.
You're more Jewish than I am, then.
I get accused of being cheap often.
How's that whiskey?
It almost left my mouth just now.
Ah, yes. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, we got to get a Jewish friend. I want to
ask him weird shit.
Okay,
like
I know
is this kosher?
I know
Kosher.
one, but he's not
Can
cool.
we
He's a
skip
bit of
a regular
dick.
Jewish friend and go right to a rabbi?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like really Jewish.
Yeah, I don't want an intermediate Jew.
I don't need a half-ass.
Screw your cultural Jewishness. We want like the real
Yeah.
Not
McCoy.
you don't want technical Jew. You want like
If you're not wearing a
Full-fledged.
yarmulke all the time,
Yeah,
like a devout. You want a devout Jew.
exactly.
devout.
Yeah.
If you're
I
not
want
practicing-
Shapiro's rabbi level Jewish,
Yeah,
Shapiro's rabbi. Not just regular.
not just Shapiro.
they gotta have the ringlets, the Jew rings. They gotta. It's,
All right, here's how we find a Jew. We go find ourselves a Muslim and say, "You can spot them. Just point them out for us, and we'll go talk to them. You don't have to come after them." That's the best chance we have.
Is there even like a what do they call it?
Temple?
What is it? What is a Jewish church again?
Temple. Quite sure it's just temple.
I'm pretty sure it's temple. I think you're right.
Okay. Like, is there one here?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
I
Yeah.
have no idea.
I don't think so.
No,
I actually would say no.
I imagine our Jewish population is very low.
Which is,
Limited.
they're not known for manual labor. Not since Egypt.
No, it's
I wasn't going to touch it.
It's a joke.
Oh my god.
And Family Guy, I'm stealing Family Guy's joke. Come on. It's
if it's on TV, it's
yeah, it's free game. I'm quoting Family Guy. Thanks, Seth MacFarlane. This is your fault.
It's not offensive if it's on TV.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny.
That was like my guide when I was DJing. If they play it, if I hear it on like regular radio, it's fine to play everywhere.
Yeah.
You can't be offended by it.
Yeah, that's why WAP is. Oh man, I hate that fucking song.
What?
WAP,
What the fuck is WAP?
Wet Ass Pussy, the Cardi B song.
It is
Have you
raunchy.
not heard it?
No.
It's fucking trash. It's garbage. I've heard it. I've never heard it on the radio, but I've heard it a little bit before. And I'm like, and I was DJing there last month, and they wanted dance stuff. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm like, oh, this WAP one. I want to just try that one. It was so bad that it like hurt my soul. I'm like, I had to stop it halfway through. Nobody was dancing to it anyways. I'm like, fuck this song. It was straight hot garbage. I felt gross.
I actually
putting it on.
I read the lyrics the other day because, like, you know, every Christmas now there's always that thing like, why can't we play what is it? Baby It's Cold Outside, and then they pick
rapey song.
yeah, and then they picked like the whatever the hot brutal song of now is, and this year it's WAP.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, why can't we play, you know, Baby It's Cold Outside, but WAP's on the thing. And somebody went on there and made like that thing. It's like, well, one's about a woman loving her body, the other is about a date rape. And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna go read these lyrics. It is so far beyond. It's just a woman owning her sexuality. I'm like, no, this is just like straight poorly written porn.
Yeah, it's
It's to the point where it's talking
porn.
about doing Kegels with a dick inside you, and
yeah,
like riding guys for money and taking them for all they're worth. It's like, no, this is brutal.
No, that's not empowering to anybody anywhere.
No,
it's really not.
No.
it's straight trash. I
And,
like
and
I said,
in
I
all
felt
honesty,
horrible.
the whole narrative that Baby Is Cold Outside is a date rape song, it's like, it's just bullshit.
You got to listen to Bill Burr's bit on that. He's like, yeah,
It's
of
like, no,
course.
stop!
Oh, stop it! Stop it! You're bad.
It's a song about a protracted flirtation, right? It's
Yeah.
cat and mouse. It's Tom and Jerry.
Yes.
Yeah, and yeah, yes, you could take it all rapey. You could,
But I mean, like, if you're gonna, you can look at so many things and be like, I wonder how that,
Yeah.
you know, like, for instance, I could do that with a Disney movie Encanto, right? You could be like, that's a cult.
I didn't watch it. I have no idea.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I've actually come to a point in my life where I don't watch new movies. My time's limited, and I want value for my time, so I just watch
Just
movies.
stick with
that
the old idea.
Yeah,
You're
know
gonna
what's
be that
good.
guy when you're like 60 of like, oh, it was way better back in the 90s.
We're watching Marble Man again.
Oh yeah, I watched Armageddon again the other day.
They're
Armageddon's the best movie ever made.
no, Con Air is.
No,
Con Air is way better.
Ooh.
no, come on.
It's so good. It has
on.
everything.
Number one, Ben Affleck's not in fucking.
You're right.
Con Air.
That's what makes it so great. Ben Affleck is not in Con Air. Yes.
I haven't seen
Con Air-
Con Air in so long.
It's a great
so
movie.
fucking good.
It is a great.
I remember it.
It's right up there with one of the top movies of all time.
I will say, though, my favorite cheesy 90s action movie is definitely The Rock.
That's a good one.
Oh, The Rock?
Yeah, Rock is good.
The Hunt for Red October. That's one of my favorites of all time.
I can't even say that do you know I was
Well, I guess I'm just that much older.
you do got a couple years on us.
And it was so funny because it's Sean Connery with his British accent as commander of a Russian submarine.
That's right. I was gonna watch that the other day.
It's quite good.
Bringing her down, comrade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, There are so many movies, and I can't even watch them with my kids. I want to watch Blazing Saddles with my kids. Can't watch that one.
No, that's definitely...
Can't watch that one. There's so many great movies out there that I'm like, I can't wait for him to get old enough.
Yeah, it's like, but in some ways though, like you can't do it with him because there has to be an element of like, I finally get to watch this. My parents aren't around. Like, they gotta have that.
Don't you watch that movie? Wink. Bye.
Right?
Kids, I actually hadn't considered this far, but they have like unfeathered access to stuff that we just didn't have.
Yeah, but they don't know what they're looking for.
No, it's overwhelming.
Yeah.
That's like, even I've got that Cinema HD app. I can watch whatever that's ever been on at any time, and it's like, there's nothing here. This is dumb. It's like,
I've seen all of this 3 times.
Yeah, it's like
you've seen all of what you want to.
Yeah, that's exactly it. If it doesn't air on Discovery or History, I'm not interested.
Oh, Discovery's gone to shit. You know, they've been that Oak Island one. They've been searching for that goddamn treasure.
Don't start with me. We're gonna have to fist fight.
No, I'm done.
You're an Oak Islander?
Done.
I am going to the money pit.
Yes, go ahead. Call me when they get. That's what I care about. I want to see the treasure. I believe it's there. Stop fucking dragging it on for as long as they are. Just fucking find it and then call me when it's ready. I'm tired of the suspense of, are they going to find something? I'm like, yes, they are, if they would just get off their fucking asses and do it.
I wonder if they're making more off of making this protracted long show than
that's what I'm thinking.
Well, that's the conclusion I've come to, because I watch it, my wife hates it, I have to defend it all the time in order to be able to watch it, of course. Because it's like, I'm devout, I don't miss it. I watch it early, I watch it on Cinema HD, so it's like it airs on Sunday, I watch it on the Wednesday before, so I'm on.
That's the thing. I was on it. My wife and I were both watching it. We're like, this might be interesting.
They might get to it,
but
and then it never comes.
And they never do. It's like...
Well, they need to... Like, ultimately, it is a TV show, and it makes pretty good TV. But... the longer they run it out, the more money they don't have to spend of their own, right? They can fund a lot of these things. But my head exploded last year. I'm watching away, and they're like, we're going through the spoils of the searcher ship from the 60s. And it's like, how long have you owned this island? Yeah. And only now are you just deciding... This is a time when they more or less knew where the money pit shaft was. Like, they had a way better understanding of the geography of the land at that point, and you never considered to search that. Like, for a while, I felt like they were actively trying not to find it.
Yeah.
You were going out of your way to do the dumbest things possible.
Yeah, they were like, our machine broke because I hit it with this hammer 7 times. I don't know what happened. It does feel like that. It feels like they're sabotaging themselves.
I can say this season has been very, fruitful.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
They found all these shafts. I am so my head exploded because again, I live and breathe by this show. Mark will send me pictures his location and distance to the money pit. Look how close I am. It's like, fuck, I hate it.
He's living all the way out there now?
No, when he was still doing data stuff, he got called to work somewhere near there. He's working on the rigs. He flies back and forth.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like, flies here?
Yeah, he works outside of Grand Prairie pretty often.
Never calls.
Oh, he came to see me one time when he was up here, but I was sick as a dog. He showed up at my house. I'm like, hey, dude. How's it going?
He stayed with us 3 or 4 days over the summer.
I don't know. Maybe he didn't like me.
I don't think
I can see that.
Yeah, all right. I'm fine with it. It's good. I'm just like, yeah. I had this conversation a little while ago with my buddy where I'm like, I thought I was friends with somebody. And then they went through Fort St. John to head up north to Yellowknife or something like that. And I haven't seen these people in 10 years, maybe longer. And I'm like, no, that had been 15 years at that point. And they know where I live. They're like, oh, yeah, you live in Fort St. John. Yeah, we didn't really stop there. We kind of just stopped there for a beer and a burger, and then we headed out. I'm like, call.
I am so that guy, though. Let's say I want to go to Edmonton for a vacation with the family. I'm like, I don't have time for all that is encompassed with going to see everybody. I'm like,
guilty
I just want to go in, do the thing with my family, get out, and just have a quick rip. Unless I'm going there to be social, I won't call. I won't. You won't know because I don't want you to feel bad.
Yeah. But at the same time,
nor do I want to feel guilty because I'm just there.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not going to deny I was there and make up a story. It was like, I was there for a reason. I didn't have time to have an awkward, quick conversation with you that doesn't really have time to go anywhere or say, hey, I'm in town, but you can't see me.
Yeah.
Well, we all have friends. We live close to Grand Prairie. We all have friends that live in Grand Prairie.
Yeah.
I'm in Grand Prairie every couple weeks.
I don't get it that often. But when I do go there, I make an effort to see some of the guys. Sometimes I'm like, man, I don't have time. Yeah, I'll run into some of them there. I'll be like, yeah, I don't have time to hang out with everybody, so we're just heading there. But this is somebody who I thought we were friends. I thought, like, if they're from Quebec. They were from Quebec, and they were going through Fort St. John to go to Yellowknife. I'm like, a beer. I would have loved to see this person. Now I realize, I'm like, oh, we're not fucking friends. We're not. Well, I thought we were friends, but we're obviously not.
It's on my dad's side, but on my dad's side of the family, I was following them on Facebook, and all of a sudden they're in the Dawson, Yukon.
Yeah.
Dawson City, Yukon. And it's like, well, there's only one way to get there.
Yep.
And there's only one road, one highway. And it happens to travel through the town that you're well aware that I live in.
Yeah.
Yet, no phone call, no message like, hey, we're coming through.
Yeah.
I get it, you're busy.
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be family. I haven't seen you. I lived here 20 years. I haven't seen you in 20 plus years.
And that's the thing. Like, they don't come through all the time. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, that hurt.
Yeah. But then I get a hard
sense.
time. Well, why haven't you messaged us when you're in Victoria? It's like, hold on a minute. You're in the Yukon. Whoa, whoa, whoa. whoa. Back this bus right up.
Yeah. Well, whenever I went to Quebec, I would try and get a hold of this person and hang out with them every single time. If I was out there, I would try and hang out with this person. And so when people don't make that effort coming through my town, it's a small city. And yeah.
Yeah. See, that's one thing. Like, living in a place like Fort St. John, it's nobody's destination.
No.
It's always a shitty stop on the way to where you really want to go.
Yeah.
Yes.
To a more shitty spot further north.
Exactly. The north really is nothing special.
But that's not true. There is parts that are great. We're just smack dab in the shitty part of it.
No. Between the whole drive between here and Fort Nelson is absolute trash.
Shit.
It's shit. It's garbage. It's
absolutely. And then 75 kilometers north of Fort Nelson.
It starts to get amazing.
Yeah.
Gold.
So it's not all of the north. We just happen to live in this little asshole of the north.
Yeah. Which is my asshole.
I like it here, though.
Yeah. It's consistent.
It's consistent. I look at this. I'm not an educated man. We are a single income family.
Yep.
And I can support my family.
That's right.
We have a decent quality of life. We're not rich by any means, but we're also not necessarily struggling really bad.
This is a great place. If you are not highly educated, but you want to make good money, you make as much money here as you want.
Yep.
If you want it, you can make it. If you don't want it, well, guess what? You can still do okay.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's nobody's destination. When you live here, you're generally not somebody's reason for whatever trip they're doing.
Unless their family comes to see you.
You almost kind of unless family's coming to see you. But people just kind of forget you exist when you exist in a place like this.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, oh yeah, that's right, you do live there, don't you? Totally. When as opposed to places like Vancouver, Quebec, Toronto, or things like that, where it's like, no, this is the destination. People come to see us. People that live there assume people go to see them.
Yeah. That can turn you into an asshole.
Friends because of my job, and then I get reminded. They're like, "No, you hire them. You've made them hundreds of thousands of dollars."
Yeah,
they're nice to you because they have to.
Yeah, they just want.
My wife reminds me of that all the time. He's not your friend.
Yeah.
Like, oh
yeah.
Yeah. There's only, I think.
Thank you for your pessimism, wife.
Yeah. Thanks. And remind me that I have no redeeming qualities. That's super. Nobody could possibly like me. You're right.
I had the worst day today when it comes to that. I'm a horrible cook at the best of times. I nearly didn't cook oven pizzas properly tonight. I was getting so fucking mad at my oven, and then I was getting mad, and I was like, I never do dinner, and I finally go out of my way to help out and make my wife didn't have to do it, and I fucking couldn't even do that right. I was so mad. I'm like, fuck, I hate doing this. This made me so
I'm proud
angry.
to say, and I will not be able to say this again for a while, but I made dinner last night and breakfast this morning.
Ooh.
Right?
Sugar bear.
I do waffles real good.
Waffles. Well, I have it's the
The
smoker.
pretentious man's pancake.
I smoked bologna. There's this.
Fuck you.
I seen a lot of the guys in the States. They smoke. You take a big bologna log and then you score it. Put all this amazing stuff on it, and then you smoke
Bologna.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big southern thing, is like doing like a big bologna like loaf almost on a smoker.
Oh, yeah.
So it would make it taste good?
Oh, it's phenomenal.
Because I haven't enjoyed a bologna since I was 12.
Have you ever tried cooking bologna?
Yeah.
Have you ever had a fried bologna
Yeah.
sandwich with like
Yeah, because
Make it
shitty
with-
processed cheese? It's amazing.
you have to have shit on top of shit because
A little bit of melty cheese, a little hot sauce and mustard on it. Like
yeah.
frickin' A.
Oh yeah. Well, that's breakfast this morning. So yesterday I scored the bologna. I did this maple syrup with Worcestershire and soy and mustard glaze, and I basted it and I smoked it for hours and hours, and it was good. We had it for dinner.
Yeah.
And then I whacked up a bunch of chunks of it this morning with some hash browns and some potatoes, and I got some Velveeta. Smoked that for an hour this morning with some eggs and all that. I was like,
So you
that was top
brought
shelf.
on New Year's Eve for the party here at my place.
Yeah.
You brought a smoked cream cheese
Yeah.
and crackers and stuff to dip. My kids love it. Like we had some leftover, right?
Yeah.
And they just like my son. Every single chance that we pulled it out, he's like, "Oh, I love this," and he just sit there and mow down. I'm like, "Dude, chill.
Nice.
It'll be there." And he's like, "No, like he doesn't even like cheese most of the time, but that he loved. He went out of his way to love it." I'm like, "Oh wow,
That smoker has changed our lives. It is the most amazing thing.
right?
We smoke always.
Yeah." So,
Well,
all right.
it's the thing to do to be a toxic man. You have to smoke meat.
I was gonna
Well,
say.
I know, that's-
I was gonna say. Let's get on our topic.
Yeah. Well, what's wrong? It doesn't mean anything. I just like to smoke. I like my meat prepared a certain way. This is the whole thing. So I was accused of being hyper masculine.
What?
I ride a motorcycle. I blacksmith. I do all of these things that they just seem like normal. Smoking meat doesn't seem like a particularly masculine thing to do. My wife does it plenty of time because I was clear about the fact I don't cook that often.
Yeah, and so the fact that you're going out of your way to do something that it could be portrayed as cooking.
Yeah.
What she complain?
But it's man cooking. It's man cooking. You're not
man
over a
cooking.
stove. You're not in the kitchen. You're smoking. You're barbecuing. You're doing man shit.
Just man
I get
shit.
a little fanatical about it too.
Are you on forums? Are there
I'm on
smoking-
forums. There's
smoking forums?
There's smoking forums. There's all the time. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, because like, in all honesty, like when dudes get into something, they
Yeah.
get into it. Like they
Yeah.
focus.
Chris-
They want to learn how to do it better. They make communities to teach how to do it better. Like
It's-
and forums, like I don't know. Like that to me, it really is a very masculine way to like. It's just something
improve.
that dudes do.
Yeah.
Right? Because like we don't have cooking shows for that. We don't like sit there and watch like Home and Garden Network to figure out how to do meats better. We're like, let's go to the internet. We're going to get information from people that do shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
none of those.
that was Christmas Day at our house. Our breakfast, we smoked breakfast Christmas morning, and then for dinner we had two different smokers going. My brother has a Green Mountain Grill. I have a Traeger.
Okay.
Yeah, so my brother smoked a ham on the Green Mountain Grill, and I smoked a prime rib on my Traeger grill, and we had two different smokers going on the front step Christmas Day.
Devin, your dad had a smoker for years, and I never saw him use it once.
No, not once.
Not
What?
once.
It was filthy outside of Danny's house all the time.
All the
It was
time.
He used it like a couple times, I guess, but it just stayed outside all the time, just not
Yeah.
getting used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He never liked that one. He always wanted something more like a Traeger, more
Yes.
like a smoker grill type of thing. And so now he will often use like those little pucks of stuff, like with the grill that he's got.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that just that standalone thing, I mean, that thing was meant more for like smoking salmon, like you
Yeah.
know, like you're like do racks of it and like have it sitting there for 12 hours, and
Yeah.
that's what it was more. And he wasn't into that. Like it wasn't really what he wanted.
No, Ben would do well with a Traeger, like a smoker grill, like you say.
But I mean, he like he loves being in the kitchen. He loves doing creative, technical cooking.
Yeah, I look forward to getting to go to his place.
It's a treat.
It really is like getting to go to his place for breakfast.
I think he and my mom are like very much the reasons why I'm like super overweight.
Yeah, but you were telling me that your parents didn't start cooking the way that they cooked until later later in life.
It would be when I was in high school, they started getting into it, and then after I left home, became an adult, they became just like foodies. But I eat there lots.
Yeah. Well, they're amazing cooks.
I know, and it's always so decadent and rich and amazing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He taught me how to make this scallop prawn fettuccine with a chicken white wine base, and like just this really, really complicated, like tons of butter, tons of garlic, tons of this. And my wife's like, this is amazing. And I'm like, don't ask me to make it again because I have no idea what I did. I still don't remember. I'm like, it is madness.
Yeah, and it's $9,000 because seafood's not
cheap.
Oh, yeah, this was a couple of years ago before seafood
groceries
went nuts.
are unreal right now.
Oh, yeah.
It is ridiculous.
No Frills had a decent price on something. I'm like, buying meat. Like,
I know. My brother was embarrassed the other day. We went to Walmart, and I love discount meat. I'm not shy about buying. Yeah. And I bought 9 packages of double reduced. It was 50% off ground beef. Mm-hmm. He's like, what are you doing? And it's like, bro, I'm a single income family. And this is 9 pounds of ground beef at $3 a package. I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take as many as I can carry. If there was more, if they got a stash of these motherfuckers in the back, we're loading them up and you're carrying some.
Yeah, they don't give you bags anymore.
I know. Yeah, the price and inflation of food right now is nuts.
Yeah.
It is. It's stupid.
I just had to redo my mortgage, and our rates, and this is not a good time to be redoing a mortgage. Like to refinance it or restart, or like whatever we got to do, renew it.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a bad time. Everything's really high, except for our 6-month term was just over 4%. And I'm like,
yeah, that's not too shabby.
That's not too, for everything else being closer to 6-7%, like around that area. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing 6 months. And they're like, oh, why? Are you planning on selling? I'm like, no, I just need to get past, I'm not paying 6% for 5 years.
We're on a bubble. We're in a bubble. Like,
we're coming off of it. I know we are.
I know we are.
And I'm like, and she's like, are you willing? Or like, it could be higher. When I'm like, it might be, but I doubt it. I'm going to wait 6 months. I'm going to pay it out. This is fine.
It
we'll
likely
be okay.
won't. And if it's higher, it's not climbing exponentially like it was before either.
Yep.
You're not anything out. You saved yourself money, and whatever higher it could be, it's going to balance out whether you signed on at the 6-year percent on the 5-year 6% right now. Anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So I'm like, I'm just going to hold out. Just going to wait. Do the cheapest that I can, and normally, the 6-month one is a high percentage one because they're like, no, they don't want to encourage that.
No.
And the fact that it was as low as it was, I'm like, oh, that's a godsend. I am blessed because again, single income house.
Yep.
We're getting by the grace of God.
Well, I was talking to a guy that owns one of the accessory shops. He's a superintendent for us. Owns one of the accessory shops in town. His manager just quit. Refinanced his mortgage, and his mortgage went up $900 a month.
Whew.
$900 a month.
That's a kick in the teeth.
That is.
That's a showstopper. You have to. Everything changes at night. Like for a family, $900 a month is a truck payment. That's what I pay for my half ton.
Oh, I couldn't imagine paying that much for a pickup or a vehicle.
But vehicles are so expensive right now.
I know they are.
That's just what
you can't finance a vehicle for what we used to.
Yeah. And that's why I'm like, I don't.
Literally impossible.
Right now, I may save it. Like I'm sharing the minivan with my wife for all my work. I'm like, no, this is it. We got one vehicle right now, and in the summer we got 2 because I got a motorcycle and I get the tools to the job, leave them there, and then I'll use my motorcycle back and forth.
Yeah, it's a godsend that our second vehicle is paid for.
Yeah. It's
because
and that is a weight that most men carry differently than women. It is because I was looking into becoming a financial advisor a little while ago.
Okay.
And when I was looking into it, they were like, "Yeah, there's some hard years, and it's a lot of women that do it." and a lot of guys that do it. And I'm like, how do these guys do it? And the more that I learned, these aren't single income houses. Their wife's making money and they're making less for now.
Yes.
Yeah, and then it flips once they get in and ingratiated in the scene and become a name.
Yeah, once you there is a turning point in which okay, you're no longer the one making less, but you're making more, and the wife is like, oh, I'm making more money than my husband now. It's like, yeah, because he supported you through the weak times. And same with,
but that's what a
same with
partnership is.
Same with women that are in the workforce. Maybe you make more than your husband for now, and then he's in a high risk area. Yeah, for a little while, and then he makes a turnaround. Not all the time. There are guys who are like, "Oh, I'm a stay-at-home dad," and they can be because their wife makes shitloads of money or decent money. But they're few and far between.
Yep.
And I think that's a weight that men carry differently than women, and they don't always see it, and we don't always see it, right? But does that mean that men just they're toxic then? Oh, they're angry all the time. It's like, no, we're tired half the time because of work all day.
Yeah, why can't I be tired and stressed from carrying the weight of a family?
Yeah.
It's a lot. Like all families, bills are high, money's tight all the time.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic to think that those pressures will not get to you.
If you fuck up, it's like everything rides on you. It's like, and it's do or die, right?
Yep.
If you get fired, if you lose your job, if you get broken somehow, that's it. Until you can get another job, that's it. And that weight of what could happen.
Yeah. What if?
Yeah.
And people
drags
assume,
on a person's soul.
You're in Canada, you have a social safety net. No, that safety net ain't doing shit.
That safety hit net is $900 every 2 weeks.
Yeah, unless you are actually on welfare and then your wife is incentivized to leave you so she can get more.
Yeah.
Like EI is so like it's kind of like the bare minimum just in case.
Yeah.
But it won't sustain you.
Yeah.
No.
You won't thrive on EI.
No, you're crawling.
It's like I think the word safety net is probably a good way. Like you fell off the tightrope. Like you fucked up.
Yeah.
Yep.
And of course you're not hitting the concrete.
Yeah.
But you're not in good shape.
Yeah.
No. We couldn't. EI's half of what our monthly expenditures
What your needs are.
Yeah. It's EI's enough to support, like, to pay your living expenses, but you're not paying any bills with it. You're not paying your mortgage.
All right. So I'm working through this thought that I had a little while ago. How do you measure a man?
What is the measure of a man?
Obviously dick size.
Clearly. Yeah, clearly. Just get a ruler.
Oh, everyone compare, measure from the back.
Yeah, measure from the bottom.
You
all watched Letterkenny.
You never measure from the top, though. There's just sadness.
Are you measuring while it's flaccid?
And the whole grower, not a shower.
You got to factor in the Randy Marsh South Park math too.
That's right.
It's for adjusted penis size. If you factor in all of the adjusted marks, I'm average.
I'm average. South Park has the very best of everything. I don't know why they do everything so perfect. It's like shooting people's dicks off. I don't want to be part of this. Cartman just...
Apart from adjusted penis size, what do you think of when you think of how do you measure a man?
By his accomplishment. That's how you measure a man. What has he done? Honestly, how else do you do it?
I don't know. I think it's his family. I think you measure a man by his family.
That's something he has done.
I know a gentleman in town. I had like one of those aha moments a while back, and for a long time I looked up to rougher guys and this, that, and the other, and I thought it's like I really felt like a man was like that, tough, strong, and just deal with anything. And then a very close friend of mine lost his wife due to cancer. And I watched him give a speech about losing his wife to cancer. And that was the strongest, toughest man that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that when I, it's like it changed a lot for me. It changed my perspective on things. It's like I looked at that. It's like that is actual.
But it's because of something you saw, something he did, how he endured.
Yep.
It's not about how much money you make.
No, it's not. It's not when you accomplishments. It's so what?
Yeah, it's you could see the most successful guy in the world, but if he has no wife, no kids, nobody.
I would say character would be would be how I would measure it, because like a person, like, because you can look at people with no character who accomplish lots in life. You're like I don't respect you. But you can also look at people that have been dealt a shitty hand or have things go on in life, but they have character, and the way they carry themselves through times, when you look at it and you're like, I don't see material success happening here, but I see moral successes.
Yep. But you also, you can't deny that at some level, a guy with great character but has done nothing. Like, I'm talking like literally did nothing. Just been a really nice guy.
No, nice is not character.
But that's what I mean. Like, he might be great. He might be in a lot of ways, but he's done nothing at all.
But he
didn't build a family.
How would you know?
I'm just saying measurable things. Family.
You wouldn't know what his character is because he's never had to. It's been too easy. There's no measure of his character because he's never had to show it.
Yeah.
So, but what I see as character is the qualities that affect how he deals with stuff, not the actual what things are, as much as it's looking like, when something happens, when a curveball is thrown away, how does he move? The quality that determines that is, I think, what I would see as the most masculine thing. Like, it's how I judge somebody. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not.
Yes. If somebody's stressed in the middle of their worst situation, are they screaming and swearing and jumping around and acting like a lunatic, or are they proceeding through with kindness and grace?
Yeah, or just like wisdom.
Yes.
Like, did you move through that shitstorm like a cry baby, but somehow come out of it on top?
Yeah.
Or did you do the right things?
Yes.
The right way,
so
with the right mindset.
Strength.
Yeah, like it's the kind of an inner strength is how I see as. That's really what I see as the defining thing of how to measure a man.
Yeah. I don't know, there's a certain level of fruit that I think we need to see sometimes too. You need to see some part of his life that, I don't know, they're not accomplishment, but evidence. Like, he's a man who desired to be a father, or in your case, didn't even desire to be a father and became one. And what did you do? You had you had options. You could have said, "Fuck this noise," or you step up.
You just jump right in.
Yeah, and you're like, okay, what does this look like? And you stepped up. Yeah. How do you handle it when things happen? But what comes from that is the evidence of.
But fruit may go away, right? Like,
that's true.
Family may die. Like, things may wither. Things may not work out.
Yeah.
But you can still be somebody of utmost character, even when the thing you think you're reaching for vanishes in front of your fingertips.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean?
Look at Tom Jensen. It's like Tom Jensen lost his grandson.
Mm-hmm.
And look at the way he carries on.
Yep.
He's strong. He didn't let that, people that changes people, and generally not for the better.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't imagine going through that. Could not imagine.
No.
Something about kids. They get my heart all the time. It's horrible. I'm like, I don't even like that. There's a movie out there where the daughter dies in it. What is it called? Some Christian movie, and most Christian movies are hot garbage.
I know the one you're talking about. It's hot garbage too.
But but there was a part of it when it came to the daughter. I'm like, oh fuck! I haven't cried in years, and that was one of those ones there. I don't even watch it. Courageous. That's the name of it. Yeah.
When it comes to kids, where it comes to my son, I just have no risk tolerance. My risk tolerance is 0. I don't risk him.
Yeah.
There's no.
Yeah. I'm taking more and more risks, and it's terrifying. I'm like, okay, even today, we went to MCC. And it's a small step for me. But my daughter's like, "Hey, can I go look at this thing?" And I'm like, "Yes." In my back of my head, I'm like, "Fuck." Just let her go. Let her walk around. Let her do her thing, and just I'm half keeping an eye.
Oh, I do not have the capacity because I'm told I smother all the time.
My kids are a little bit older than yours too.
Yes. No, I know, but I'm not saying I should let my son go. That's not what I'm getting. But the normal steps that I'm supposed to be taking, I still dress the little fucker. Because I just like doing nice things for him.
Oh my god, I'm like yelling at the kid, like, put your damn pants on. We're not a pajama family.
Oh, your father-in-law, I hear him all the time. I'm secretly mad at Nick on the inside right now.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Because we were over at Ben and Sue's for Boxing Day, and we're talking about kids, whatever, and Buster will wipe his own ass everywhere except for at home. He just refuses. If he came here, he'd just go poop and be good. He'd wipe his own little butt and carry on.
Huh.
At home, mom, and it's like he will not wipe his own ass. So I'm like, hey, I think I asked your mom or I asked your dad. I'm like, how do I deal with it? He's like, do you know who the problem is in this scenario? You. And I'm like,
I love how blunt Nick can be.
Oh, it's a curse. Yeah.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks.
It's one common factor, and he's not wrong. There is
no,
one
he
thing.
is not wrong.
You're right, but I'm trying to. That's not helping.
Yeah.
This is not. I'm not. That's not.
You don't need to be right now, Nick.
It's so tough, and how much do you let them go, and how much do you let them just do? And I'm like, as a dad, it's terrifying because you're the protector. It's your job. Your job is to take care of them and make sure that they can fail safely.
I don't want them to fail.
No, they must fail.
That's the problem. I've got to disconnect.
Yeah.
I need to learn some of that because I never want to see him fail. I want to do them for him. I want to guide him.
Earlier in this podcast, you were talking about how failing is super important. Like, you need to learn how to do it good.
Breeds character. Yep.
Yep.
However,
my kids get...
However, easier. Like, I feel like I've been through a lot. I have only met my father a couple times. I'm in my early 40s. I've lost my mom. My grandfather's gone. My stepdad's gone. My best friend's gone. Like, it's.
Yep.
There's been a lot, but.
Yeah. But it's how you got through it, and. If given the opportunity, or if presented that scenario with your son right now, do you think he'd be able to endure?
Ultimately, I know he can't. Losing my mom affected him greatly. That was one of the things that I'm concerned about right now. Is I knew going into this, I took a long time. My mom was sick for a while. It wasn't like she was killed in a car accident.
Yeah, it wasn't a surprise.
No. So we had time to deal with it. So I knew that I was going to go through grief in the process and ups, downs, and the whole thing. And I tried to do as much as I could to limit that exposure, to minimize the impact that it would have on me and thus on the rest of my world.
Yeah.
And through that, I completely disregarded. He's 5. He was 4 at the time, actually. So I was like, well, his grandma's going to die. But outside of that, I didn't.
Yeah.
I just assumed that he would be a little sad. He wouldn't see her and he'd kind of move on. But it affected him greatly. He's still upset about it.
I know it's not the same thing. I'm just making this very clear when I say this. Not the same thing. But I know, Devin, your son had a thing where he started recognizing death in a different way as well when you had one of your dogs put down, and he was there for it. And he kind of saw it, and he didn't realize it until it actually happened, and he didn't know how it would affect him.
Yeah, that was strange, because being in the room when Lizzie passed from the injection, like seeing living dog and then seeing dead dog, like that was the first time he'd ever seen a dead body.
Yeah.
Like other than like a squash bug or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yep.
And where
and like once he realized, like, oh, Lizzie's gone. Like gone. Like the thing that was there that was Lizzie is snuffed out. Like, yeah, that at that moment, like then like it was like a weird like, oh, why are we here sort of moment to tears, crying.
Yeah.
Well, that was reality slap. Reality slapped him hard in the face.
And so your son went
like
something
death
similar
is a
to
real
that.
thing.
Death is a real thing. Death is a real deal thing.
It is odd that for a species such as ourselves that everybody dies. We don't get over it very like we do not have the same like coping as other species.
Well, that's we shouldn't take it so hard as we do, but we do. It's
well, I mean, think about it.
Death is inevitable. It is an absolute fact of life.
Yeah.
Think about it. Like how disconnected from death we are now as a society, though. Like
unbelievably.
It used to be like people died from the plague all the time.
Yeah.
Like or like like a couple of your siblings weren't going to live to be grown-ups.
Yeah.
Or
I've talked to my grandmother about it many times because she's in her 90s now, so she grew up through both wars. And she lost the majority of her brothers to war.
Yeah.
And that was a reality of life. Growing up.
Yeah.
During those times.
We don't have that. So we're so disconnected from it because people are living so long.
Or even eating meat, right? Like for just centuries and centuries, if you wanted to eat meat, either your family killed that or you went to a butcher, like where they slaughtered animals and had them hanging there.
And now they just go get it at the store.
Yeah, you get it prepackaged.
That's where you get. That's where they get the meat too.
The blood is gone. The death is gone. The carcass isn't there. Like right, like even eating meat as carnivores, we're separated entirely from the idea of no, something died for this.
Yeah,
we don't do death in Western culture.
No, I would love to homestead. The idea of homesteading to me is the most amazing.
But
what stops me from homesteading is I can't kill. We've reached that. I'm not a hunter. I can't live off the land.
Yeah, you need the hunting friend. He's like, I will have a cow. I will milk it, and I will give you the milk, and you give me meat.
Yes. Yeah.
Have you ever butchered a chicken or anything like that?
No.
See, I grew up even as a kid. Like it was we would go to my friend's farm, and we were like, oh. They're beheading chickens today, and they're like, okay, cool. So as kids, we just saw it like, and this thing, they chuck it over the fence, and they're running around like idiots.
Yeah, you saw them like get up and run around from the nervous system.
Yeah, their nervous system's still going. They're running around. This is me as a child.
I don't like the weird thing is it feels like they're coming after you.
See, I was a child in Victoria.
Oh yeah, that's the difference.
Okay, so
I was farm boy.
To explain, like when you're butchering a chicken, you chop its head off.
Yeah.
Like the body still does stuff, and they get up and they run, like quite often, and like sometimes some of them would like for whatever reason the direction that their mindless body was going was after you, so you're like running away from a zombie chicken.
Oh, that would mess me up. That.
And then what they would do is they would bring it inside into the house because this is what they had, and they would put it in the bathtub. It's like, yeah, this is where they're gonna bleed out. Like this is where we drain the chickens. And we never
bled them out like inside. Like we had a place outside to do like all of that part. But what I remember was we didn't have a place to like blanch the chickens, so they did it inside on the stove, and so our whole house smelled like boiled feathers, which is just I can't remember.
They had a defeathering machine.
Lingered for days.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's my best friend's house. That's what you go to the bathroom. Well, there's a tub full of dead chickens, and you're pissing in the toilet. It was just yeah.
See, I'm soft. That has never been my reality.
Yeah,
and I don't see it changing.
Not right away.
No, I'm comfortable. I am comfortable.
How would you do in an apocalypse?
How would I do in an apocalypse?
Yeah, apocalypse thinking of like, all right, now we're living off the land because we have to. If I'm gonna eat meat, it's because I have to kill that thing.
Somebody's got to back up these people doing the killing.
That's right. Somebody has to organize
the killing machine.
Okay, let's say you didn't kill it.
You're just forever being dispatched.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what in a zombie apocalypse. I don't know what they're after, but it's like I'll just send a group of the hunter guys out to the pod, and they can bring some stuff back.
I'm really good at smoking.
Yeah, what'd you do? I'll prepare.
What'd you do in the before times? Exactly the same as this.
Yeah,
does dispatch
for an oil field company.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah. Could you learn to butcher and skin? Do you think you couldn't kill it? But skinning it's not bad.
So one time we shot this deer, and then they made me touch the hoof when we were skinning it, and I just cried. And cried.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Incessantly.
There was a time out at the Friesen's Pig Pavilion where I was on a motorcycle trip, but the Cursa and Mac were there, and the Friesenator had a butchered deer, like a deer that he shot that day.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Hey kids, you want to come see?" And they all went out there, and Mac, when I got home, Mac was like, "Dad, I touched a moose eyeball."
Yeah, my kids would do that.
Yeah, no, that's not the reality of our family.
Talia would definitely do it. Gideon, maybe. Alexis, no. She would just run away.
I guess I really am one of those guys from the south. I am from Victoria, I guess.
From
Victoria land.
Turns out I'm soft.
Okay, so when I was a teenager, the first deer that I shot, we went out, we got this deer. That was an oh my god moment. I suck at this. and realizing my dad sucked at this too.
I can't imagine hunting with your dad.
Oh yeah. Like, I mean, fuck it. If you guys are listening to this, grow a set. So
I think we
like it was the definition of a bad kill, right?
Oh
like,
no!
Oh yeah.
So
we shot it in the leg.
Well, the idea was like
I beat it.
I was gonna shoot it. It was my first year. I had the tag, like I'd done the core course and all that, right? And when the time came to shoot the deer, I got buck fever, like the shakes, right? The excitement, just and
jitters.
wound up clipping it. It fell down, but it was like it was a bad shot. Like it was not a fatal shot.
Yeah.
And so my dad went to go shoot it, and like it's sitting there like at point blank range. Like took a shot. It's the same thing, bad shot.
That meat's gonna be so tough.
And so he, I guess he did the thing he figured was best thing to take us out of this misery. He's like, well, it'll die soon, but we should probably bleed it out. So he went to go bleed it out, and so instead of cutting the arteries, he's sawed across his trachea. It was one of those moments where like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, okay. Oh, that's so bad.
Oh, I know. Like, butchering chickens, pigs, all that, whatever, fine. But don't go hunting with my dad.
Yeah.
You're dead.
There's a list a mile long of people I will go hunting with before my dad.
Yeah.
But when it comes to survival, like apocalypse style, I'll be like, yeah, I want you. I want to know how to keep milk fresh. I want to know how to make
a shitter in the woods.
If there's an apocalypse, I'm going to be busy blacksmithing, making things for the killers.
That's right.
So the comedy of errors continues with this deer. I'm remembering all this shit now. So we got the deer skinned, like field dressed and then skinned and all that stuff, and we took it to our garage and hung it up to dry age, right? Yeah. Because you want to let the meat sit for several days or even up to a week or whatever before you start like butchering it and cutting it up and stuff like that. So, the deer carcass is hanging in our garage, and to keep it cold, like we lifted up the garage door a couple inches to let cold, fresh air in.
Yep.
All felt all good, right? We lived in town. And one day, like, I don't know, a couple days after we started hanging the thing there, wake up in the morning and there's this big story about a grizzly bear in town.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it like the thing had to get put down because it was going around from yard to yard all over.
Oh goodness!
All over town. We're like, oh man, this is crazy. We go outside, and there's grizzly bear paw prints all over our front lawn, trying like all around the garage door to get to the deer. I was thinking, they're like, is this grizzly bear thing my fault? It's like, did it come beckoned by the smell
of... It's all about you.
But I mean, seriously though, there's literally a dead animal hanging there. Those things can smell well.
Yeah.
We're in a house close to the edge of town, like not like in the center, right? Like, it's like, this thing may have came here for our deer.
For your deer.
And it died for it.
Oh yeah.
You'd be like,
so we might have been the cause of that.
Maybe.
What?
That was long enough ago. We're good. Statute of limitations is far gone.
Yeah, I was a teenager.
I was a dumb, lazy teenager. And when I was 10, we moved from Victoria to the north end of the island, this right small town, Port Alice. It's like 1,200 people.
Yeah.
Black bears are a real fact of life in Port Alice. It's 1 square kilometer carved out of the side of a mountain. There's bears everywhere.
Yeah.
So you would have to like keep your garbage and do all the bear-proof things. Well, I was a stupid, lazy teenager, and I didn't close. We lived in like stratas, a townhouse you own, but we lived in this like row of townhouses, and there was went through a fence, and there was a little area out front to get to our front door. And we kept our garbage and stuff in there. We just kept the fence closed and kept the bears and everything out. There was no issue. Well, I didn't close the door on this particular day, and a bear wandered up and like parked his ass right against the door and almost busted in the front door. And my mom and my brother and stepdad and me were all upstairs in the window looking in the bear, and they're trying to like shush it away, like, "Hell, the bear."
Shush it?
Yeah, bear, fuck off, sort of thing. Like,
Well, would you guys have had any guns?
no, my mom was a hippie. So we weren't even allowed gun-shaped toys as a kid.
Oh, no.
I had no guns as a child ever. I never had a cap gun.
You see, you said you were a lazy teenager. Teenagers aren't known for being lazy, are they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I
Just little shits, never doing what they're told.
no,
I mean, it
was
depends. Like,
terrified.
teenagers can be very motivated when it's for girls or fun.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, yeah, no,
doing
I was
stupid
very
shit
motivated for mischief, and
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, but like chores, like what teenager is like really motivated to go
Right.
take out garbage, to do chores, to wash dishes?
You know, my brother was like that, actually.
Motivated to do all that shit?
Yeah, no, he was.
Keener.
Which, yeah, it made me look extra bad because I was extra not motivated. Teenagers are like lazy as a whole.
It's like,
But
why would I
led
be
the pack.
motivated when you're motivated?
Yeah, I don't have to be. Look at all the things you're
See,
doing.
that's why socialism never works. Right there, it's like I don't have to be motivated. He is, and then he stops trying. It's like, why aren't you trying? You're making us look bad. Yeah, I have not actually killed a deer. I have to say, I've been hunting for elk. I've been hunting for deer, and I just
You keep getting skunked?
just never got anything. And then, this time never quite came. I've killed things, but never. I think that's why I think I'd be okay to kill a deer. If you've killed a dog, which is something innocent, and you're not getting meat out of it, and you're like, oh, I feel bad.
It's a different thing because like,
But
you almost think of a dog like a little person, right? It's a little.
We overly humanize pets.
Yeah, we
Yes.
do. We do. So like putting one
give them
down,
names and
it's more like trying to euthanize something than it is going to hunt for food, right?
Yeah.
You
Where
look
I
at
think-
game for all its beauty and stuff like that, but you're still like, you're a meat source.
yeah. Where that's why I don't think I'm going to have the crying because that's the thing. The hunters talk about this all the time. All guys, your very first kill, you cry. Well, my first kill was
Seriously?
a dog. Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, no, I didn't have that. Like with that
Really?
deer or anything. No,
No.
it wasn't emotional. It wasn't emotional at all.
Really?
I didn't
Like
shoot the deer. I just cried.
I was all jacked up on buck fever. It was like adrenaline, excitement.
Okay, because Mike was saying he's like, yeah, a lot of hunters cry after for their first kill.
I would believe that. I shot a grouse. I didn't cry.
Yeah, exactly. Shot birds out in the wild. And
Yeah, we went. Yeah, I've been hunting. That deer. I didn't shoot that deer. This
Yeah.
guy Larry shot the deer.
Oh man, I went grouse hunting once, and with a pellet gun, right? Like this was me as like a preteen,
Yeah.
like before going to get the deer. So I had an overblown sense of my own marksmanship from this one experience. We went out deer hunting. We saw one.
Thing is, you're a decent shot. I've seen you shoot.
Yeah, it's a decent shot. Like, so I had this like pellet gun, not a shotgun, not anything. This is not a hunting rifle, right?
Yeah.
So I sit down, take aim. My dad's kind of like, that's adorable. He thinks it's gonna like pop a shot and like hit it straight in the head with just a pellet. And the thing just dropped. And I was like, yeah, I'm the fucking man. I had a way overblown sense of marksmanship that I've never lived up to.
I seen that happen. I was camping with a buddy of mine, and he grabs this hunting rifle. And he's like, "I'm going to shoot this bird out of the tree." It's like you shoot birds with buckshot for a reason, because that's
with birdshot. Yeah,
with birdshot or whatever. And he just grabs the rifle and he goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna kill that bird." And the bird hits the ground. It was like, holy fuck!
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that.
Have you ever been like duck hunting?
No.
That is fun.
Yeah, I bet. I
did that too, and I got nothing.
Really?
Fucking geese or whatever we were doing. I'm like, fuck, I used to go
skeet shooting all the time.
I was gonna say like take a shower, but maybe that's the opposite. Like you need to get an extra funk, smell like your environment, roll around in the dirt a little bit. They can smell the French on you. You got to get that off.
We need to get.
Every time I go to shoot something, I drop my rifle and put my hands up.
You're doing it wrong.
We need, because you probably have a shotgun. We need to get some shotguns and go skeet shooting. I used to go skeet shooting all the time. It's the most fun ever.
I
do
need to get a proper shotgun. I've got a Defender, but
yeah, Defenders are for defense.
They're for defense. They're great for
target practice.
They're great for ATVs, and that's it.
I want to get a Defender, a little pistol grip Defender.
Yeah, they're great.
Yep. Just for camping, just for whatever, just for life.
Everyone needs one. They're great. I gotta get more guns. I just need more guns.
Yes. I need to get them on the DL right now because I don't trust our government not to come for them all.
Yeah, oh man, I wish I didn't lose all of my guns in a boating accident.
Whoops.
Happens all the time up here, even in the winter. I hate our government. They make me so angry. The thing is, we're completely underrepresented in media. Like, I do feel like a lot of Canadian people who are against our government are not giving the promotion that they should be given.
Yeah. It's because we're all contained in the West. You
know what? It's not even the same. It's the North. Like, there are plenty of conservatives in Ontario, in Quebec, like all over the place. But like the real division politically is North and South.
Yeah.
Across the country. It's not actually east-west.
No, it's a north-south. It definitely is. Because if you're down south where it's a little nicer, and maybe central west, like Saskatchewan, Alberta, like those places, yeah, they're hyper-conservative in a lot of ways. But when you got to Vancouver, Ottawa, Toronto, like these places, and Winnipeg, because they're fucking retards. I'm sorry, most of Manitoba, they're all idiots. They're like, oh, we love NDP. Because they might get something. No, they're the poorest province of all the provinces, and they think they're going to get something out of it. It's like, no, you keep electing retards.
Well, yeah, they keep electing people that are going to promise
them shit and give nothing. And it's
like if you're going to vote NDP, like you're voting for basically like financial equity to be made, right? Like the whole thing is a communist system. So, yeah, the have-nots are going to want the power, the people in power that are going to take from the wealthy and give to them.
Yeah.
The equality payments or equalization payments or whatever that BC sends back east. That's my largest argument against BC separating. I call BC America's corridor, and I feel like we should just fucking leave Canada, join the States, and join and once for all connect the lower 48 to Alaska.
That's right.
Bing.
There you go.
And we just need to call and just refer to ourselves as America's corridor.
Yeah.
That actually might work.
I have a plan.
That might work
because like Second Amendment.
Because the states are all smaller, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I can foresee there being some more lines drawn, and like Vancouver Island, Lower Mainland being like their own states that are sort of Washington-esque, and then the northern ones being like, like Montana, Idaho, Texas.
Yeah. And having like, a bit more of their own voice.
You could have more of your own voice for the North, because you'd be like, no, like the North is a state.
Would we call ourselves North Texas?
I think you convinced me.
I think we should be called North Texas, though. No longer British Columbia, North Texas.
We are North Texas.
Yeah.
That's legit.
There's oil.
Yep.
We love guns.
We do love guns.
Yeah.
And barbecue.
Yeah, North Texas.
Turns out people in the North barbecue as much as people in Texas.
There's plenty of states that love that shit.
Yeah.
Well, you could be South Alaska. Southern Alaska.
Turns out Alaska loves cannabis.
What?
Yeah. Alaska's stoned.
Yeah.
Who isn't stoned now?
Yeah.
I just assume everybody is all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not. But I mean, as a culture.
Do you want to be?
Maybe.
Never let fear or common sense stand in the way.
Oh, no, but I really do think it would be a great thing to just
Maui Wowie.
I think it would be a great thing to just get the hell out of like Canada and be like, okay, we need to show them what they've been missing. And I know that Alberta would come along too.
Yes.
Honestly, Alberta's like, I have a hard time with Alberta at the best of times because they're so extreme at so many levels. They'll vote Conservatives, then they'll go NDP just because, Conservatives didn't appreciate us. It's like, fucking calm your tits. Relax. Just settle down. Yeah, throw a fit, but don't vote NDP. They're absolute garbage. They have really nice ideas, but no, I'm good. No, I'm doing the sober thing for January. It sucks.
Yeah, what's the fun in that?
It's to say you can.
It's to say I can. I don't have a problem, but in order to prove it to myself and others, I just take a break. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Which I love.
To prove to others, really.
And myself. And myself.
Yes.
Others, because some people are like, oh, you're always drinking. I'm like, no, I don't have to. And this is my time. My time to shine is now.
Yeah.
And then yeah. February 1st. Fucking get ready. No, just kidding. That's not better. I know some people are like if they do a January thing, New Year's Eve, they're just getting like, I gotta just get straight liquored right before taking a month. I'm like, you're missing the point. Yeah. So
You see people dieting all the time. It's like, I'm going on a diet tomorrow. I'm going to eat all this shit. It's like, why do you want to make your problem worse before you start?
Right?
Yeah.
Like before you start your diet, you're like, okay, I want to trigger my addiction.
Yeah. This is
I want to make my body
plan,
crave this shit extra.
Yeah. Right? And you're extra, it's like if you power through a large pizza, you're extra hungry the next morning anyway.
yeah. All right.
It.
So
Yeah, you've like totally just fucked your metabolism.
Yeah.
There is this thing I want to talk. Okay, they talk about being one of these carnivorous guys that's like the epitome of toxic masculinity is like,
eat a raw ball sacks.
Okay, if I say, hey man, I'm going to eat a little healthier, what do you think I'm going to do? More vegetable. Well,
Yeah.
most people. What
No.
would you think would be the direction if you're saying I'm going to eat healthier?
Well, that depends. Like for you, like choosing to eat more vegetables would be the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like for some people, I'm like, damn, like grab a steak instead of so much pasta.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
would be a positive thing for them
Where
to do is
I
have some
don't-
protein in their.
I think that's a skewed thing to think. Everyone's like, oh, I'm going to eat healthier, so like I'm going to eat more vegetables. Who says vegetables are healthier?
It's a whole food.
Meat's a whole food.
Yes.
Yes,
you're,
it
supposed,
is.
you're supposed to eat
There's
whole food.
nothing inherently healthier about vegetables than there is meat.
But that's the thing.
but it's
Everyone
the-
they assume that in order to eat healthier, I need to eat less meat and more vegetables. It's like no, that's not actually true.
I think
Well,
that's
that
because
is
a
true.
lot of us overeat, particularly on red meat.
Yes.
Like we have so much of it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to eat red meat about equivalent to the size of your hand. It's supposed to be the portion.
Yeah.
of your
So
red
I'm
meat.
not eating enough. It's the problem. I don't eat enough meat. I should eat more. When I say that, I'm eating a lot of fucking pasta. I am not a fan of pasta.
Then why do you eat it so much?
Because my wife makes it, and I am a bad cook.
I love pasta.
I love bread. I eat too much bread.
That's been the one nice thing. I don't eat bread at all now.
Really?
That's how I
Yeah.
know you're really French. You hate pasta but love bread. Like that is the most French fucking thing you've ever said.
That is the
I did go to school with a baguette one time. I went to the store, bought a baguette, and I walked around high school with a baguette.
God, I hate you right now.
It was so good.
yeah. I hate breaded things, but yeah,
I've
effectively
never
I don't.
despised you more.
The other night we were playing that game. It was the first time I've had popcorn in 2 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not supposed to eat popcorn after bariatric surgery, which
Oh.
I actually didn't know until after I had the surgery. I'm like, I googled it. I googled everything just to see what I could have and not. And I thought I was going to have some popcorn, and turns out popcorn can swell in your stomach and get caught in this.
It
that.
swells. Interesting. I thought popcorn was one of those things when it hit moisture, it like
Yeah, no.
up.
Turns out no. They're quite bad. It's quite bad for you. Rice too. I actually thought rice was another one of those things that I thought, I'd probably have. It's like
I fucking hate rice.
me too.
My wife loves it because she does. She's like, I like rice. I'm like, give me
Oh no,
potatoes.
I totally dig rice.
I hate
I
rice.
do not care for it.
I love
it's
sushi.
It's a pain in the ass.
I love Indian food. Indian food needs rice.
Yes, but they don't have plain rice. They add things to it to give it flavor.
Well, yeah, that's called cooking.
No,
you season
no.
everything.
No, my wife makes a rice and then we put shit on it, and I'm like, it's such a pain. It's a pain. I don't enjoy it. She knows I don't enjoy it, but I'm not going to tell her not to cook it because she does enjoy it. So I'm going to say, honey, I don't care. I'll eat it, but I'm not like.
Here's one of these measurement tools, because growing up, my stepdad really loved like fried sausage and white rice. Mm-hmm. And we ate it all the time as a kid, and I fucking hated it. And now my wife loves rice, and you know what we don't have in my house? Fucking rice. I don't care how much she enjoys it. Eat rice when I'm not home.
Scratch that. And that's now how I define a man. Whether or not the rice is in your home, if your wife likes rice and you don't.
Nope.
If you don't like it and it's in your house, you are less of a man.
No, we don't. We don't eat rice in my house. Or soup. I'm not thirsty. I'll have a fucking drink.
You don't like soup?
No, I don't eat soup.
What?
I'm not fucking thirsty. If I was thirsty, I'd have a drink. Jesus Christ. I'm hungry. I'm going to have a meal.
So good for you.
Soup is watery stew.
I weighed 500 pounds at one point in my life. Do you think I cared whether something was fucking good for me? Jesus.
You should like it now.
Soup?
Yeah.
No, I hate soup.
How is soup inherently good for you? It's full of rice, vegetables, and salt. It's pretty much the main ingredients for soup.
What do you make it with? You make it with bone broth. Broth is marrow. That is bone marrow. Super high in vitamin. Super, like, it's a superfood.
It is.
Bone
it's a big thing in grilling right now. You grill the bone, you scrape the marrow out,
so smoke a couple bones and put the oil on your bread.
It's all about,
you don't need to drink a watery stew.
It's all about that bone broth. It's so
I am playing the devil's advocate. I fucking love soup.
I don't have soup. We don't. Again, soup and rice. These are things that don't exist in my house.
Freaking like ramen or pho. I've refused to call it what it's actually called. It's spelled
pho.
Spelled pho.
Is that your biggest foe?
Isn't it called
faux pas? To pronounce it, to pronounce it right, it's a faux pas in my book.
You just know you're not going to get along with somebody if somebody calls it pho.
If I find out a friend of mine calls pho, we're done.
Yeah,
we done. It's over.
Friends off.
Friends off.
Well, it comes back to guys named Geoff that called themselves Jeff. That's a real issue for me.
Either spell it Jeff or say it Geoff.
Wasn't your neighbor
one or the other?
Wasn't your neighbor a Geoff for a while? He was a Geoff. That's how he spelled it.
I don't. I had never interacted with him enough to see him spell his name. We were like high in the in the driveways, like kind of neighbors.
Yeah.
But there was a guy in college with me, and so I had a good buddy in college whose name was Jeff, and he spelled it Jeff, like a real man.
My uncle's name. I have an uncle.
So there was another fella. There's another fella whose name was Geoff, right? He had the whole Geoff thing. And I'd never met him before, and I saw I was like a list of people of who's in my group. I'm like, oh, a guy named Geoff is in my group. What a fucking weird name. I'd never seen it spelled that way until I was in college. And I called him Geoff to his face, completely unironically, thinking that was honestly his name.
Yes. Okay, that does bring me to something. Do you know what I really hate? When people apologize for saying names wrong. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I will not apologize for saying something wrong, especially in a different culture. If I don't say your city right, like, what's that, the capital of, I think it's Bangkok or something like that.
Cock.
But, are you doing? My wife just asked for recording. Yes, we're recording. Istanbul, or, I don't know, one of these fucking places, middle of one of the stands. I don't care. If I say it incorrectly, I don't live there. I don't speak your language. Kiev. There's a perfect example. How do you say Kiev or Kiev or the capital of Ukraine? Because everyone's like, oh, the Russians say it like this. So if you say it like this, you're supporting your Russians. If you don't say it like this, you shut the fuck up. I don't care.
I'm not concerned with any of that.
I had no idea it was a controversy.
Yes. It was.
None of these things,
so fucking
I have
dumb.
moved on from all of that. If you try to, I'll just stop talking to you. If you want to correct my pronunciation of something,
if you're going to be a dick
if I pronounce Kiev wrong and you're not happy with how I say it, probably we shouldn't talk then, because other things I'm going to say are going to make you crazy.
Like, I went there, and when I was there, the people I was hanging out with, they were like, oh, it's Kiev. not Kiev, it's Kiev. And I'm like, okay, that's how you say it. Cool. But if somebody comes to me now and is like, oh, it's actually Kiev, or they try to correct me, I'm like, when I was there, this is how they told me to say it. So this is how I'm fucking saying it. No. And they want to play these language games. And the other people, they'll knuckle under. It's like, oh, you're not from there, so you didn't pronounce it right. And they're like, I'm so sorry. My white privilege, blah, blah, blah. Just shut the fuck up.
I'm a stick in the mud. I won't refer to, I don't even know what they call the Queen Charlotte Islands. Somebody that has some new stupid fucking name.
Oh,
what? It's not
the
the
land recognition?
That's not the Queen Charlotte's anymore?
No, it's Haida Gwaii. Everybody just calls it Haida Gwaii. It's like wrong. It was Queen Charlotte Islands for like 30 fucking years.
Yeah.
I'm old. This is what it is. Sorry about your luck.
I did not know that.
Oh, it was a whole thing.
I only knew it as Haida Gwaii.
And people they correct me.
If you said Queen Charlotte Island, I'd have no idea what you're talking about because I didn't know they existed. And then people I know went there and they're like, oh yeah, we went to Haida Gwaii. I'm like, where the fuck that is? You told me Queen Charlotte Island, I'd be like, I don't know where the fuck that is anyways.
Yeah.
Those words mean the same thing to me.
Like when it's like when we grew up, we were looking at the map of British Columbia and there's a whole section of islands that are called the Queen Charlottes. And that's always what we referred to it as.
Yeah.
I remember hearing people start to say Haida Gwaii. I assumed that was some hippie town like on the island or something like that, right?
Like a specific place.
I didn't know that they renamed the Queen Charlotte's Haida Gwaii.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Yeah.
That's stupid. That's the stupidest thing.
It's ridiculous.
And then they want you to grovel and apologize for not knowing or saying it wrong and
they expect me to start referring to Haida Gwaii. I'm not. Sorry about your luck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Yeah.
Why?
You can call it whatever you want. We're talking about the same thing. You know it. You know when I say Queen Charlotte Islands, I'm talking about Haida Gwaii. Good.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep saying Queen Charlotte.
Yeah. And eventually you'll die out and nobody else, and you'll be like, no, but for you, it doesn't matter. Do you know what I'm talking about? When I say, hey, I lived in Hull, Quebec, you know where that is?
What? No.
Okay. Well, most people who know Eastern Canada know Hull is directly across from Ottawa. They have amalgamated the city next to it, Gatineau, with Hull, and another place called Elmer. So now that whole area is Gatineau. If I say, hey, yeah, I lived in Hull, they're like, oh, okay, I know where that is. Well, not you guys, but people who are from there.
That's a different thing than just taking.
They renamed it. They renamed it.
Yeah, but that's a different thing when one city or region subsumes another, right? And it all just kind of like becomes one thing. But you can still say like, well, I mean, that region over there is the old Hull, right?
Yeah.
It's a different thing though if you're just gonna take if you're just gonna say we're now changing Toronto to the native word for canoe, right? Like, that's fucking dumb.
Yeah. If there's BC's not BC anymore. Yeah. Now it's just Columbia.
Yeah. Yeah, we're not even British. I wouldn't even be mad about that one. I want to be Columbia 2.0 or 1.0. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, like
we don't Columbia 2.0. Yeah, we don't.
If one day like there's some
we got
sort
white
of like
powder here, but it's not fun.
If there's like some sort of like maybe they take the Lower Mainland and they just start call the whole thing Vancouver. Like that's a different thing than because like Vancouver just kind of is taking over everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a different thing than just being like, no, we're calling this whole region now like Pink Sunland.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the land recognition stuff. When people they'll be like, oh, we're starting this podcast today from the former land of the Beaver Nation, and I'm like, fucking not since I've been here. I'm sorry. How far are we going to go back? Because before that, they were from Europe and Asia and Africa. I'm like, how far back? And who did they steal the land from? Or which tribe of natives are we going to recognize?
From the ancient land of the Great Mastodon.
That's right.
Nobody wants
we
to
just want to say that we're sorry for taking it from you.
Well, I've come to a point where I actually... everything operates on such a global level that I actually want to abolish this whole idea. I want to abolish global debt, not the Great Reset, but this idea that Canada's ever going to pay off China and China's going to pay off Argentina and blah blah blah. All these debts are never getting paid, and everything is happening on such a global level that the idea of having Africa and China and fucking all these stupid different countries is ridiculous because it's a hamper into how the world works now.
I think at this point it's the only way we're going to get out of debt with China is if China stops existing. We just need to move on. We just need to move on for it. China needs to realize they're not going to move on. That's the thing. Like they're going to.
But at some point you have to realize, no, China, the $19 trillion we owe you. Sorry, it's not coming your way.
You're not getting it tomorrow, and the next day's not looking any better.
And this is the thing. It's turned in from a tangible number. If I owe Devin $500, I can pay Devin $500. That's a tangible thing that I can do.
But if you owed him $67 trillion,
if I owed him $32 billion, well, there's just no chance I could ever pay Devin.
Like, why the fuck would you lend that to me? You're the idiot.
Yeah. So we need to just be realistic. It's like, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. We need to forgive these things.
Yeah.
Drop the countries and govern the planet like they do within a country, right? So we have provinces because each one has different geographical needs.
How is that any different than what it would be if you like abolish countries and just govern as a planet? If you're going to call each of the countries that used to be just a province, you're just kind of changing the term.
Well, I want to have one global currency on that.
You would or wouldn't?
Would.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's a...
I want one global... This idea that our money is worth more than that money and blah, fuck that.
Yeah.
No, I just... One global currency, one tax thing. Like, I just want to simplify the whole structure.
I'm not sure that's possible.
I don't think so.
Why?
Because 80-20 rule is one.
Because one, like certain places, like, you know, produce more, right? Like, or
you have like we're resource rich in Canada,
or you have inflation things happen in different ways in different places. And so at some point, then certain places' value of their dollar is getting lower, right? Because or they're just not going to be able to afford the $1. And then they're going to have to start dividing all of their business dealings into cents. And then to subcents from that in order to try and deal with the whole thing. And so you're just creating another scenario where it's all going to develop over again.
Maybe it's too simple, but it's like, I think that's the way.
I think it is. Like, I mean, like, how the hell can we govern a whole planet when we can't even govern a country the size of Canada correctly? Because each region has its own ethics.
Yes.
So strongly, and then we just contend with one another for how to judge the whole thing, and then certain places wind up feeling like they're not having their voices heard. That would even get even less if we let's say even in Canada we just use Canada as a microcosm of the world.
Why doesn't Vancouver Island
let's get rid of provinces and just say it's all one country, Canada?
No, that's too.
That's even going to be fucking worse.
Yeah, no, that's an issue. That's not what I'm saying. I think we need to abolish the idea of Canada, China, Japan, all of that. But I do think we need to govern locally. The needs of Fort St. John are in no way
but then
reflective of the needs of Vancouver Island.
Mm-hmm. But territorial encroachment would happen so quickly because part of being in such a country as Canada, well, we have the backing of Eastern Canada. We have the backing of America because we're an ally with them. Yeah. Those allyships would be gone if we were to govern ourselves in a very small
But why? At what point? At that point, there's no reason for war. Well, there's no need for it.
There is to a degree, right? Resources. Like we're at. I kind of think the current way of countries and provinces and states and stuff like that is actually decent, because
it just seems really
let's say you're going to make the whole world one country, one government, one idea. It's too much to manage that way, and so you're going to wind up either with the same thing happening over again of places that are like, okay, well, here's a government for that area. I mean, that is just a new country. Or you'll have it for there's so little, and then you have city-states again, where it's like Rome versus Crete versus Athens, or like these places. And then you're just going to have all these places going to war with one another for their resources.
Yeah.
Because the resources don't have a real way to properly be governed to get to one another, right? So you're just going to have, you're going to have more wars, as in they're going to be between cities instead of, countries.
And you know how, we already have a bad enough time, sports teams. This sport ball team against that sport ball team. Well, fuck you. We're just going to have that, but bigger. Oh, we don't like this town next to us or this province next to us or whatever. yeah, those rivalries, those feuds,
they're gonna get
heated quick.
yeah.
Think of the way that some people treat Albertans from here, or Albertans treat Saskatchewan people. Heck, Lloydminster's a perfect example. They treat Saskatchewan people and Alberta people differently, and they live in the same fucking city.
Yeah, it's split in the middle.
Yeah. Like, it's ideally, yes, it'd be really nice. I love an anarchical idea of just straight anarchy. Let's just fucking, everyone leave each other alone, leave me alone, let me buy my guns, and I'm happy. That'd be great. Is it going to happen? No.
I wish. That's my dream.
Yeah. It's a great dream, but I would start taking shit over too.
See, I wouldn't.
Life in city-states might be fun.
I'm happy to stay in my own lane. If nobody's bothering me, I don't give a fuck what anybody else is doing. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I could just... I think I would get on with a big group and be like, do you know how easy it would be to be like, oh, we're taking this. This is going to be our new territory. Or to team with a very charismatic leader. I'm a sucker for that shit already. I don't want to... Yeah.
I'm not there. I'm just happy. I just want my little plot of land.
Right.
That's why I brought a homestead. I would love to homestead. If I could kill things, I would just homestead.
Yeah, I believe in you. I think you could.
I have all this.
You didn't think you could be a dad, and fucking you're doing a great job at that.
Well, thank you. I'm doing my best.
Yeah, we all do. I had my wife's grandmother. She's like, "You're a good dad." I'm like, "We'll see." And she's like, "No, you are." I'm like, "He's young.
Yeah,
He's young.
time will tell.
We'll see." Like, I'm not saying that I'm a shitty dad. I'm just saying, I'm like, give it some time. I don't judge food before it's out of the oven.
This whole all I gotta say is this good dad bad dad thing. You're getting it right if you give a shit.
Yeah.
If you give up and you're like, I'm trying a little bit more than I did yesterday, you're a good dad. Yeah. You are going to do things that are not right, you are going to make mistakes, and it's like, yeah, you're gonna have a bad day, and you're gonna blast the little fucker for something that he didn't deserve, and that's happens, and it's just life.
And if you don't believe in calling your kid a little fucker, you don't spend enough time with them. Yeah. You need to spend more time with your kids. If you can't say that and be like, yeah, I've called them that. Yeah.
I thought of that today. I got a call from my wife being like, hey, when you get home from work, you need to discipline. Right? He deliberately disobeyed one of the rules that we have for, his access to internet. Right? It's the first thing crossed my head. It's like, oh, fucker.
Well, yeah, I was pissed at it. So we've got...
but they're gonna push boundaries.
Oh, yeah. They got to make sure they're real. That's the thing. Kids pushing them because they need to know those boundaries are real.
Yeah.
And if you're not willing to enforce them, guess what? They ain't fucking real, and they know it now.
Kids are smart. And that, like, he worked me. The dog, we have a puppy. Puppy ate his winter jacket. It chewed a big hole in the fucking winter jacket.
Yeah.
It was shitty. Mm-hmm. So today we had to go get him a new winter jacket. Went to the mall and I'm like, hey, can you try this jacket on? It blows a shit fit. I will not try on this jacket until I get a toy.
Oh, you won't, will you?
And I'm like, and then you're down to a moral dilemma. Do I buy the toy? Like, what's the cost of rightness in this scenario?
Oh, yeah. At that point, I'm getting like comically oversized. Be like, don't worry, you'll fucking grow into it.
No,
we're done.
I'm on the other side. I went down. I bought him 2 toys.
Oh,
he promised that I will try on jackets, and he left happy with the jacket. It was win-win.
No,
I on that one, my sense of honor and principality gets so wounded. Or I'm like, no, this is me versus you, little fucker.
Yeah. No, my desire to not just like I just don't want him acting out. I want him to wear his jacket. I just want smooth. I
will make him stand outside until I'm like, you gonna try a jacket on yet? In the cold, I'm like, no jacket. You stand there when you're ready. Come on.
Well, that's beyond what I would do. It's either you're getting this one, and whether it fits or not, up to you, or we're going home and we're coming back another day when you're in the right headspace.
Yeah. Fuck your toy. But that's why we're different, and it's all right.
I'm not saying my way is better. All I am saying is it's like I want things to go smooth.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I am willing to do I am willing to do whatever preparation so we have a positive outcome to the situation.
Yeah.
However, it turns into pandering and it's not.
Yeah, and that's why that's the thing. It's deferring. Smoothness now is not smoothness later. I'll do this as long as you do what I want you to. And it's like, no, who's the adult here?
That is a blurred line in our house. Let me tell you.
It's tough, man. It really is. I got criticized a lot because even from my own family, I made stands when everyone else was like, Mike, you're an idiot. What are you doing? Why? No, this is not worth standing on. No, you're not. No, you shouldn't do this. And I made stands against my own in-laws. And guess what? They're fucking on my side now when it comes to some things. When it came to vaccinating my kids at an early age on their schedule and whatever, not even COVID, just regular vaccinating. I'm like, all right, looking at the science, looking at this, looking at it. I'm like, I'm going to hold off a little bit. Just going to hold off. And my family looked at me like I was retarded. Not my family, my wife's family. And now, I'm not saying they're all on board with everything I say, but they don't look at me like I'm crazy anymore. They're like, oh, Mike might have been onto something. How's it going, Devin?
This thing's mesmerizing.
No.
This is the perfect fidget thing.
Yeah,
it's
I know.
quiet.
The only time it catches my attention, and then
Yeah.
I lose track.
I guess we should describe what's happening. All right. What are those things called? It's like an oil water fountain thing. You flip upside down, and the oil and the water are separate.
Yeah, it's got a spiral in it. It's almost like a lava lamp without the heat.
Yeah. And you can flip it over and it just kind of goes slowly, and it's very mesmerizing. I saw it, and my wife bought it for me for Christmas as like a stocking stuffer, because she's like, "Oh, my husband will love this," and yeah, I fucking do. It's great.
Yep, it's fantastic.
Can I say this? I'm against adult Christmas presents.
What?
Yeah, like
Okay, what do you mean? Okay,
What do I
you
mean?
mean?
What do I mean? I don't want a Christmas present from anybody. If there's something I want, whatever I want, I go out and buy it.
Yes.
There is no more like, I'm waiting. It's like, I sure hope I get a fucking skill saw for Christmas. No, if I need a fucking skill saw, I go buy a fucking skill saw.
That's different. Okay, I am against the buying a need. If you need a skill saw, you fucking build a need. If you need underwear, buy fucking... I hate that. I hate socks and underwear. Don't buy me fucking socks and underwear. I can buy that. I'm a grown-ass man. But there are things that I won't buy for myself that I can justify not buying, because I don't spend money willy-nilly like I used to. So, my wife bought me something for Christmas this year that I wouldn't have bought for myself, because I'm like, no, I don't need it. I'm fine.
If I wouldn't buy it for myself, I don't need it.
But it's something I really did want. I wanted it.
What was it?
It was a subscription to Daily Wire. So Ben Shapiro, Jordan Peterson, all their shit, their movies and all this. And now I have access, and I can call them, and there's just things that I can do now with the Daily Wire stuff that I couldn't do. And this is something that I really wanted, but I'm like, no, I'm fine. And so there are things that I want that I will not buy for myself. And that's one of them. And being able to give me a gift like that, I'm like, oh, she knocked it out of the park. Do I need a Zippo? No. So I'm not going to buy it. But do I want one? Yeah, I kind of do. Well, guess what? I got a fucking Zippo now. It's not always about need.
Yeah, I guess
that's where we're different.
Yeah.
I buy, if I want it, I buy it. There's no
waiting.
I'm taking.
I mean, let's be frank there. I mean, there is a pay, scale gap between there that is.
I make a little bit less money. You might be
right?
You are a single income house. You got one kid. I got 4.
Yes.
Your payments are probably a little bit cheaper than my fucking house, because I needed more rooms because I got.
Yeah, but I've got a truck payment and a Harley payment.
That is true. Yeah, but you're able to have those where I'm like, no, that's not an option for me. The truck payment is not an option.
See, and that's right. Sometimes I feel like I'm disconnected, because I was sitting there. I was talking to my brother the other day, and it's like, I live in a mobile home, right? I have a trailer. And I said to him, I don't understand how you can live in a mobile home and not own a Herman Nelson. But there's people that live in mobile homes that don't own Herman Nelsons. And it's like, it's just, to me, it's mandatory. But I've got a Herman Nelson. I've got all...
Yeah, because you want to be able to heat under it.
Yes.
Yeah, I understand why people can't, because maybe you just can't. You can't afford it.
Some people just don't, right? They don't.
Right.
They don't
And they
want
don't.
the extra convenience, or like they've got other ways of dealing with stuff. But
Yeah.
it's not as easy as just be like Herman Nelson.
Yeah.
I have a
We're
disconnect
pointing
on
a
that.
nuke. We're nuke at an ant.
But I haven't always. I make okay money now, but I haven't always.
No.
But even then, if I wanted something, I just saved for it or did
Yeah.
what I needed.
And
I don't know.
there are things like that I have just been like, no, I want this thing. I'm going to go buy it. What do I want right now? I want a really nice microphone. I really do. I want to spend $400 on a good mic and stand. I'm not fucking doing that. It's not happening. I'm not like, as much as I want it and I could save, I can think of other things that I could do with that money. I can get a new. We were going to be doing a fundraising campaign to get us a new computer here, so that we can do video editing and we can do all this stuff. Yes, I could go buy that with my own money. No, I can't actually. I can't even do it. I can't go do that. Do I want to? Yeah, I really do. And even if I had the money, there's money, something else I could put that money towards.
Yeah. See, maybe I'm not that financially disciplined.
I have to be. I have to be. I got 4 kids to put through college, maybe. I got 3 weddings I guaranteed have to. Well, no, not even. Maybe I'll get lucky and none of them will get married. It'll be great.
I guess I'm lucky. I only have one.
I'm thinking 10 years down the road. I got to help pay for cars. I got to help pay for school. I got to help make sure that
this is my plan.
eventually get a sport.
This is my plan because I have those concerns too.
Yeah.
But I know on my salary that that's not an option.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start a business. I have an idea.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it offline, but I've got an idea, and I'm going to set it up so it's like a portion of the business goes to him, so I have a fund to do all of those things.
Uh-huh.
Side hustles, man.
Yeah.
Side hustles are
yeah.
And that's I love the side hustle. Like me, it's selling shit, getting stuff for cheap, and reselling it for way more than I paid.
I wanted a pawn shop for a long time. I just love doing deals.
Yeah.
I love doing deals.
Well, there's some people that don't like conflict, so they just knuckle under. Where I'm like, oh, I'll give a deal, but I'm getting the better half of this deal. Like when I was selling, I had a bunch of TVs that I had.
I bought one.
Yeah.
Good TV.
You paid. Oh well, there's no multiplying past 0. You paid more than I paid for it.
Yeah.
But did you get a great deal?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was win-win all the way around.
It was win-win. Could he turn around and sell that TV for
to be honest,
twice the price?
I found out how much you were selling those TVs for, and I was offended. It's like, you need to be making way more money.
Yeah, but I got them for free. I didn't feel like ripping. If somebody else wants to turn around and double the price and sell them again, I don't give a fuck. I paid nothing.
Yeah, I'm not a get-rich guy.
No.
When I sell things, it's like whatever it's worth to me.
No, that I'm not saying like fuck people over.
No.
But I'm saying like
I fuck myself. I fuck myself on that one.
You can still sell them at market value, or at what used market value is, right?
The problem is I couldn't guarantee them. I tested them, but I knew that a couple of them might have had some little things with them, and I'm like, I can't guarantee them. And if I sell them for cheap,
okay, well, that was something that you never told me. You never said that part of the equation.
I hadn't heard this till now.
I did test them. I tested them 100%, but I can't. If I can't guarantee them, because I've been using it for 6 months and they haven't changed at all. No, I didn't use them at all.
No.
I tested them, tested all the ports, tested the remotes, made sure there was new batteries. I'm like, as far as I know, these are in great shape.
You've done your due diligence.
That being said, did I test them? Did I long test them? No. Are they brand new out of the box? No. Do I know what happened to them beforehand? I have no idea.
People have to have reasonable expectations of that going into it.
That being said, the guys at the pawn shop aren't doing that. They're not testing them for 4 months. They're still selling them at way more than they're worth. Like,
they're function testing in the same way and moving on.
Yeah. You do a function test. That's due diligence.
Yeah,
you should be able to sell it at what they're going for on Kijiji.
Pawn shops are dying. They're not around anymore. Well, we got one in Fort St. John.
Yeah,
we got 3 thrift stores
I went there yesterday.
And one pawn shop.
Well, Facebook Marketplace makes them irrelevant.
Yeah. That's what I do. I know some people, they give stuff away. I'm like, no, I don't give it away unless I can't sell it. And it's just not worth selling. Then I'll give it away or throw it in the garbage. That's the only time. I'm like, I don't have time for that.
But there's nothing wrong with getting a smoking deal on something and then charging it for the exact same price that everybody else on
Yeah.
you know, like in the used market is selling the same thing for, right? You
Yeah.
don't need to shave off like, you know,
Yeah.
this 20% of the value because you're like, oh, but I got it for a really, really good deal.
Yeah.
I want to pass the savings along. You don't have to
No,
do that.
no.
You're not ethically bound to do that at all.
I also didn't have a really good idea of what they were worth. Like, I'm like, they're just small. TVs are so huge nowadays. You can get them for really big ones for really cheap. So I'm like, how much did I put? And I just got to put them for whatever I thought. I thought I was fair.
You're probably half of what they're worth.
Yeah. And
I don't think they're worth $100.
Yeah.
But they were probably worth 80. That TV was probably worth $80.
Yeah, probably. And I don't know. It wasn't a big deal to me. The mirrors. Oh, the mirrors were a good one. I got 25 mirrors. And they were literally throwing them out. I'm like, oh, let me take them. It's like, what are you going to do? I'm like, I'm going to fucking sell them. Yep. I sold these big mirrors for $40 pop, and I sold 25 mirrors.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm like, mirror. That's all. People with their gyms, they're big enough that you stack two on top of each other. You've got yourself a studio or whatever the fuck you're going to do with them. I don't care. But yeah, it was just a hustle, doing something.
I'm all about the side hustle. I blacksmith, I got the DJ stuff. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to make a buck.
Yeah. And some people, they just like, oh, but I worked 40 hours. I'm like, oh, is that it? And so, oh, you stop. Oh, I remember my first part-time job.
I know. There's no, there is no days off. There's no, you just got to be out hustling. You got to take care of your family.
Yeah, do what you have to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, how the hell do I justify my existence? And I do by doing whatever it takes.
Yep.
Like calling people up and like, hey, you got work? Hey, you got work? Yeah. It's great. And sometimes that's the way you got to do it.
Yep.
Cool.
It's true.
Well, I work a full-time job, but it's like, I'm happy to pick up DJ work. I'm happy to.
It pays good.
It does.
Surprisingly good. I'm like, wow, you just sit there and like go through songs and just make sure they sound good together.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just wait for wedding season and Christmas party season.
Fucking.
Just wait for wedding season.
I got to MC a wedding this summer.
Are you making money on it?
No, it's for a friend. MC. No one gets paid for MCing.
No.
I don't wondering how it's relevant.
I was just thinking
other
of a
than
wedding.
I said wedding.
And I'm like, fuck, wedding.
I have big wedding season plans this year.
Yeah?
Yes.
You gonna like up your equipment or?
Yeah, I think so. Ultimately, I think so. I've got 3 weddings booked right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done weddings and stuff like that for a long time, doing DJ stuff.
Yep.
Not so much recently, but back when we met, that was a thing you did lots.
Yep.
You also did DJing for a nightclub for like a long time.
Very long time.
What's like the difference between the two of them?
I guess more. It comes down to, I guess, my attitude. At a wedding, you're paying me to be there. You've asked me for a service, so I'm trying to cater to what you want. You know, whatever you want, whatever you want to hear, however you want it to go is good with me at that point.
Yeah.
My job is different when I'm in a nightclub. My job is to throw a party. You know, you chose to come to us. So you're a little bit more captive to listening to what I think is. And it's not even... Because I don't necessarily care whether you want to listen to it or not.
Yeah.
You're just doing the best thing for what feels you need for the vibe.
Yes. For the room, right? Whatever's happening in the room, that's what I'm concerned about. If everybody's dancing and you don't like the one song, well, you can basically get fucked.
Yeah.
But at a wedding, you're paying me to be there.
Yeah.
So if you want to hear that one song, bro, let's do that. If you want to hear the Macarena 900 times on repeat, let's fucking get after it, bro.
Yeah.
It's like...
I hated, I did one event there, and I hated when people came and asked me to play a song, because I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I, have it. And I'm like, you want to hear this. I had somebody come up and like, I want Slayer. I'm like, I can't fucking play Slayer.
Yeah, people want the dumbest things.
I like Slayer. Cool.
But this is not the time or the place.
Not the time. Like, seriously, I can't do that.
Yes.
And then,
nobody wants to hear about killing puppies at a Christmas party.
And I was like, it was really hard. It only got easy when I said fuck this noise, and I just played the dance floor was empty. They were done dancing, but guess what they weren't done doing? Drinking at the bar. So what am I going to play? I'm going to play sing-along songs. I'm going to play fucking Michael Jackson. I'm going to play Sweet Caroline. I'm going to play these songs that are like just fun and you just want to sing at your friends because you're an idiot and you're drunk. Like, yeah.
That's the mark of throwing a party. Just because whether people are dancing or not, are they enjoying themselves? Or are they bebopping around in their chairs?
So it's read the room.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, and they were like,
and adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
And they said, I want dance music. And I'm like, right now, the dance floor is open and country music is keeping people on the dance floor. So I was playing that.
Yeah.
And when I put on some hip hop or dance or whatever shit it was, nobody. Like, just crickets. I'm like, sorry, I'm going to keep this dance floor moving. As long as there's people. And when that stops working and I try something else and the dancing is just done, cool. I'm just playing bar tunes.
For a long time, I just wouldn't take requests. So, yeah. And it's like, people I have the best song ever. And I would tell them, it's like, I'll play it, but if everybody stops dancing on the dance floor, I'm going to send you home for the night.
Yeah.
And then they're less confident about their song choice. Because all of a sudden, that blowjob
like,
you thought you were catching, you ain't catching, bro. You can't catch a blowjob in the parking lot.
That's right.
Can't kill the vibe. Can't kill the room.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, and that was it was really tough because you're very self-conscious of, does what I like actually matter?
Yeah.
And you're like, because I think this is good. And you're like, and then when you go out, it's fine. But when, it's
startling to be reminded all of a sudden you may have shitty taste.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I think this is the best. I think this is all the best in the world. I listen to this 100 times.
I would make an awful DJ. Like, unless I was doing it strictly by numbers and just being like, this is popular now, that's popular, this is popular, this has been popular.
It's just
we're putting together the list based on averages. I could do that, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's not something where I could be like, I need to read the room, or I got the perfect thing for this moment. Like, I can't do that. My taste in music, while broad, just skews towards more headphone listening, more personal enjoyment. Like, I don't listen to music at parties. Because I don't go to parties. I'm an introvert.
Yeah. I
it's not my jam.
I thrive off of small groups now, and I realize something. I don't like loud music. I fucking hate it. I like metal at a moderate volume. So having that music just thumping for hours on end, I'm like, fuck. I'm annoyed.
It's so loud.
I know.
I don't think I was trying to do an on the rocks part and on the a New Year's party. I really wanted to do a New Year's party this year, and then we were here. Buster fell asleep. We went home. I drove through the bar parking lot just on the way home.
Yeah,
just to see if I'd missed anything. Not maybe necessarily missed anything. Just to see what.
Yeah.
And there was nobody there. And I'm like,
yeah.
And then I felt
scene's dead, man.
Yeah,
COVID killed it.
Yeah, no, people just don't drink the same and stuff.
No.
It
man, even the idea of going to the bar nowadays just makes me annoyed. I'm like,
my skin crawls talking about it. There's nothing.
Yeah.
People talk about going out, and I don't even know what that means.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm so disconnected from that.
I'm noticing now, like in my parents' generation, like there's a new nightlife that's arising, and it's at places like the Pomeroy in the ballroom, or at social events that are put on by the slightly upper crust, like this down low, dirty, barty dance. Like that's all dead.
It's gone. COVID killed it.
Yeah. But like now, the people that are older than us are reinventing their own nightlife style with these kind of like more social parties and things like that. They're becoming more of a big thing in our town. But like that's just not a world I'm involved in. That's not a place I exist.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even be comfortable there.
Yeah, no. Nope. Hey, Graham, my parents were talking about this party they went to. It was a gala for the fire.
The firefighters.
Yeah,
gala.
for the firefighters. And I was like, what? What the fuck is that? And they're like, no, it was a great time. We two-stepped, and there was food, and it was a thing. We met the mayor. And
oh yeah, no, there's this thing, the Millionaires Dinner in town.
Yeah,
every year.
That sort of thing.
It's not called the Millionaires Dinner, is it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. But that sort of thing is thriving.
I don't know why I haven't been invited then.
I did sound for the Millionaires Dinner one time. I was pissed I didn't get invited because I had set up the whole thing. I did all the signs for it. I was super involved.
Yeah.
And I didn't get invited. I was
pissed. That sucks.
I'm lowbrow. I'm over it.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna hop on my motorcycle and just fucking leave.
Yeah. Well, by the end of February, I'm gonna have fuck tattooed on my arm. So.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck cancer or fuck
Yeah.
which one? Oh, yeah.
Fuck cancer.
Oh,
Cancer has affected my life. I'm at a point now where I don't care if it holds up from work. If you don't support me on fuck cancer, fuck you.
yeah.
Pretty
Yeah.
much, straight up.
Yeah.
It's like, does anybody like it? Come on, just say it. Fuck cancer.
Anyone
Tell
who-
me all your positive cancer experiences, motherfucker.
I really want to. I would love to get a really offensive tattoo just for fun. I'm like, if you died of COVID, you a bitch. And like, no, that's not true. There's a lot of tough people who died.
I do.
There's so many people dying lately. It's unbelievable. What you looking at?
I feel like my phone's vibrating and ringing, but likely it's not.
Yeah, your wife checking up on you, seeing how you're doing.
She may just be. I'm going to sleep now. Don't wake me up.
Yeah. Oh, we should probably wrap the sucker up now.
Yeah. Well, it was fun.
Well, thanks for having me. It was fun.
It was fun. I love just hanging out and chatting.
Me too.
And I know one day these are going to be like the golden years because I've heard some other podcasts when they're older, and it's like, wow, they sounded like shit. And all I'm like, no, we sound good for our beginning year, our first year. Oh, okay. Anyways,
I think just the fun of like feeling it out, being loose, like having experiences and like reinventing friendships and like these long form conversations. We're gonna look back at this and be like, man, that was freaking awesome.
yeah.
Yeah. You got to start somewhere to finish somewhere, right? And
Yeah.
you don't know what works and doesn't until you've
Till you're done, till you tried, till you failed.
Yeah.
you failed.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
All right, guys. Cheers.
Cheers. God bless. Don't
God
be
bless.
a dick. Music has been brought to us by Kirk the Riffer Wells at Liquid State Audio. He is a guitarist, producer, and the mixing engineer. Thank you from the Blue Collar Philosophers.